Hey, Aaron, you like zombie video games?
Yeah, man, I played a few. I like them. They're pretty good.
Awesome. I know you like horror movies, right?
Of course.
Well, how do you like horror movies based on zombie video games? That's right, and this one features more 360 shots, than the fucking Matrix. We watched The House of the Dead. We watched it so you don't have to. So you know what time it is. Greetings, Moon Goons! Welcome to the Horrible Horror Podcast, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. Movies so bad they're scary. I'm your host, Mr. Marshall Hampton. With me today, as always, is my co-host, my buddy. I know this is 2 weeks in a row now, but it's so nice to say back in studio, Mr. Aaron Southworth.
Man, it is nice to say, and it's just nice to look at since I've been gone, you've spruced the place up.
A little bit.
Yeah, it looks nice, it's got all the horror shit on the wall, and movies and video games, and the posters are framed and up. It looks pretty good.
Thank you.
And we actually have a working. It's a bar that still functions. It's like a
Yes.
Death Star. It's fully operational. Still under construction.
Yes, it is fully operational.
It's got all the booze. It just doesn't have the nicest setup. But
Yeah,
we'll get there.
We're working on that.
We got a fridge with beer. We got a bar with mixed drinks. Got a little scotch on the rocks right now. Doing good, man.
Yeah, I got the Johnny Walker special going right now. I gotta say, man, I think I've said it several times throughout the show, but man, 5 years in, I still love that theme song of ours. I still find it catchy, and I still bop my tail to it. I still, every now and then, I'm like, maybe we should update it. I'm like, fuck, it's still good.
I totally agree. It's perfect for it. It's because it's kind of campy.
Yeah.
But it's also creepy. We wrote the lyrics. The chick sang them wonderfully.
Dude, the girl who did this for us is amazing. I still can't get over how fortunate we found her, and she knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, for a reasonable price.
Very reasonable price. I checked her prices recently. They've gone way up.
As they should.
As they should. Besides that, let's see. We are in March, and we're middle of March now. March Madness is kicking off this weekend.
Is it really?
It is kicking off, which also means that we are kicking off our Horrible Horror March Movie Madness Tournament of Awfulness.
COVID edition.
I like, yes, asterisk. Like I said, I explained last week, if you missed it, this week's tournament is a abridged tournament. It's much smaller. One, because we just didn't have enough movies to fill out the normal size tournament that we normally would.
COVID edition.
And so the only way to make this work is we had to condense it down to 16, a field of 16, instead of the normal 32. And of those, we had to do basically a play-in round, a buy-in round, where 2, 4, 6, 8 movies would would face off basically for the right to get into the tournament, into that 16, and then we go from there.
Listeners who don't follow sports, which I'm guessing is a lot, Marshall's breaking it down as he would an actual basketball tournament.
Yeah, I can break it down. We get the last 4 in, first 4 out, all that shit.
I'm getting lost and I'm getting bored. I'm like, come on, I don't understand what you mean.
So
tell me which ones we talk about.
What we're doing today, because normally we open these up for listener votes for the whole thing, but for this round, just to fill out the final bracket, our play-in round, Aaron and I are going to go through these first 4 rounds here, 4 games, if you will, 4 matchups, and we will discuss and we will pick which of them will move into the actual tournament, which will start next week after our St. Patty's Day episode. So, with that said, before we get to this week's movie, we're going to knock this out real quick, and so you guys can follow at home and start and getting geared up and psyched for the tournament, because I know I always am. So first up, I'm going to save this one for later, for probably end. So speaking of St. Patty's Day episode coming up,
Yeah.
our first playing bracket features Leprechaun 5 in the Hood going up against Crack in the Floor. Now, the winner of this will move on into the tournament. What is your thoughts on this? On this?
Which one's worse?
Yeah, which one's worse? That's remember, guys. That's what our thing. We do which one's worse, not which one's better. We're crying our worst of the worst champion.
Which one is worse? Well, In the Hood was fucking bad, but boy was it fun. I mean, Ice-T smoking a joint with Leprechaun. Come on,
Yeah.
Come on, man, it's the bomb. The bomb. The bomb. Yes. But at the same time, he kept calling Ice-T the N-word, which I'm like, don't make that a thing. That's not your word, Leprechaun. We also had a cross-dressing hero at the end who fails and is under the spell of the Leprechaun. It's a weird one, but I really liked it. So, Crack in the Floor. The only good thing I had about going for it was Mario Lopez and Gary Busey's shining 10 minutes of film.
I was hoping you wouldn't forget the Gary Busey because that was a listener suggested one. That was Kate O'Brien's, I believe. And my God, that bit with Gary Busey and the chicken rabid blood and fucking a chicken or something like that. It was just I can't even describe. It's priceless.
Yeah, listen to it. We basically recorded all of his good bits and put it out.
Which is like he's like top billing or second billing. He's got like all like 2 minutes worth of screen time. He's got one good monologue, and that's it. You never see him again. But damn, is that 2 minutes worth it?
Yeah, but the killer sucks. I'm not really happy. It's just kind of lame overall. So I'm gonna say Crack in the Floor moves on.
You know what? I'm kind of torn because at least Crack in the Floor was kind of a slasher. And there was some kills. Leprechaun 5 is just kind of becomes more of a weird. But the weird thing with Ice-T, I gotta say, I will say Leprechaun 5 at that point, they knew what they're doing. They were intentionally making kind of a crappy, campy, weird thing. Crack in the Floor, I think they were trying a little harder and just failed. So I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to say Crack in the Floor will move on into the actual tournament. All right, so let's move on real quick. Next one, we have Secret Santa. Before I go on to that, I will say, for you guys looking at watching, there are some movies that did get left off just because we're at odd numbers, and the ones that did get left out were good ones, like Anna and the Apocalypse got left out. Yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street 3, I think we did. It was a watch-along episode. We did that, and plus it's a good one, and it's a watch-along. I don't want to count those. Also, Ugly Sweater Party, which was a watch-along episode we did with Kevin Caliber and director Aaron Mentos. I left that out too because one, that's a watch-along, and two, you weren't available for that one. So those were left out, and I think there might have been one other that got left out that was just considered good. Secret Santa almost did because that was a surprise for us, but I had to put it into playing round, which is why it's in the playing round, not the actual tournament. So Secret Santa is going up against Don't Look in the Cellar, which was one of the David S. Sterling, Randall Malone movies.
Refresh my memory on Secret Santa.
Okay, Secret Santa was the surprise indie hit that we really enjoyed. It had the college kids, the one guy who couldn't sleep was insomnia. The main girl was like a cam model behind her boyfriend's back.
Yes, it was a Canadian film.
It was that was the one actual decent Canadian film we've come across
we
lately.
were fucking stunned silly.
Yes.
That the Canadians actually pulled it off and made a decent indie horror film.
Yes.
Yes, you're right. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
Compared to what was the name of the?
Don't Look in the Cellar.
Don't Look in the Cellar. Yeah.
Smiley, the burlap sack on his face, and
I think this is a no-brainer. Yeah. Don't Look in the Cellar moves on.
Yeah, I agree too. 100% with you, but just making it official. All right, next we have Jack O versus Blood Knight: The Legend of Mary Hatchet.
Shit.
Yeah.
Jack O was Lena Quigley.
As the babysitter.
Effects, weird, it was so much different shit going on in this movie, but for some reason I really liked it.
Really? I don't remember you liking it, but
I think it's so bad it's good because it was just so stupid. Honestly, it was Quiggs that helped pull it off for me.
She's not even in it that much.
No, but we do see her titties, and that's right before she went downhill.
Yeah.
And what was the name of the other one?
Blood Knight: The Legend of Mary Hatchet
with Daniel Harris.
Yes.
And,
Bill Moseley.
Yeah. Which was a pretty good one also.
That was the one basically where the whole premise was super PMS. Super period, make women kill.
Boy, that's a tough one. Because I like both of them.
Well, I'll tell you, you just said, I got my pick. My pick to move on is Jacko. Because that had that kid that was just the most, he was like an alien. It was like an alien trying to pretend to be a kid. Emotionless. It was like the director's son they put in.
Such a bad movie.
It was terrible.
But it was charming because it was so bad.
Oh, I'd rather watch Blood Night again than try to sit through Jacko.
I'd rather watch Jacko again.
Fuck, we're split.
However, that doesn't mean I don't recognize that. That means I wouldn't watch Mary Hatchet. I'd still watch that one too. So I'm gonna have to go with Jacko moving on.
Okay.
Just barely. I mean, just because I get it, you know. But man, Jacko is a lot more fun than you let it on. Shame on you.
All right. So our last playing round, then I had to save this one for last. Halloween 3 versus Blood Gnome, and I know where my vote's going.
Blood Gnome. Oh. Oh, fuck you. I mean, I don't even remember Blood Gnome.
Blood Gnome was the surprisingly good one.
But the titties and stuff.
The BDSM gnome like club and the bondage.
Well, that was a decent movie, or kind of a surprise.
Yeah.
It wasn't that good. Fucking Halloween 3 is far superior. Even if you take away the title Halloween 3 and you call it something else, it's so far superior. That's the only reason you're still dogging it. You dirty dog dick, dirt diggler.
Well, my vote.
Mine's for Blood Gnome.
Yours is for Blood Gnome.
And it should be.
My vote is for Halloween 3 as the worst movie to move on.
How do we settle this?
Actually, I'm just fucking. I just wanted to. I'm hoping in my head that I'm picturing in my head. Nachos McWariff and Cincinnati Jeff listening to this and just doing like a "fuck you, Marshall" as that's home. No, I'm serious. Blood Gnome.
You're trying to get under the skin of the Dukes of Spook.
Yeah, the Dukes of Spook. I'm just fucking with them. Yeah.
Podcast. Check them out.
Yeah, I just even by putting in Halloween 3 in this bracket alone, I wanted to just get under their skin a bit. But no, even though Blood Gnome was surprisingly better than we thought, I will say it deserves to go on. Halloween 3, I will admit, does not deserve to go on here. It actually my hatred for Halloween 3 is slowly maybe peeling back a little bit because I'm looking at it from a different point of view now than I used to.
Starting to seduce that dick, huh?
No, it's not Tom Atkins.
Yeah.
All right.
Who wants a mustache ride?
All right. So that's that. Now we have our completed actual tournament bracket, and I'll give you a rundown of what the brackets are real quick. So here we go. Leading up, and this year obviously we don't have a Crystal Lake bracket and a Hadfield bracket. It's just one. COVID edition. All right. So leading off, in the number 1 seed, Aaron might get kicked, will be Halitosis, the Legend of Stankmouth, going up against How to Make a Monster. Then we have Zombies 2 will take on Blood Gnome. Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, The Initiation, will take on A Crack in the Floor. Then we have Varsity Blood taking on Don't Look in the Cellar, followed by Night of 1,000 Cats, which will take on Backlot Murders. And then we have, what was it, last week's episode, I think? Or 2 weeks ago, we have Doom Asylum that will take on Jacko. And then we have the Horrible Dr. Bones taking on Pickaxe. And we close it out with Holla If You Hear Me Kill You as the number 2 seed, going up against the Legend of the Psychotic Forest Ranger. And that is our bracket for this year.
Canadian indie.
I think it was Canadian,
It was, yeah.
So there's our bracket. Like I said, we'll get the voting and stuff open for those. Hopefully next week, starting soon. You guys can follow along and play along, and it should be a good time. Looking forward to it. All right. With that out of the way, let's move on to the actual movie this week, which is House of the Dead.
I've been wanting to do this one for a while.
I actually had forgot about this one for a while, but
I think I talked to you once or twice about it. You're like, ooh, I got all this other stuff lined up.
Maybe it's possible.
I'm like, okay.
It's possible.
That's why I understand why you line movies up ahead of time so you can streamline it, but every once in a while I get an idea and I throw it in and you're like, oh, it's got to go to the back of the line. Fuck you. And then it usually gets lost.
Back of the line. Yeah, so this one, House of Dead, was released on October 10th of 2003.
Actually in October.
October?
Good for them.
Good for them. Written by Mark A. Altman, Dan Bates, and Dave Parker. Directed by the infamous Yul Boll. So that name alone, if you don't know what you're in for,
you're gonna
learn real quick if you don't know what Yul Boll. You can find the movie on Amazon. Unfortunately, for some god-awful reason, it's not on Prime for free. You actually have to spend money on this turd. I did too. Like, thank God I did not buy it. I refused to buy it. I think I just rented it. Or I know I rented it. I did not buy it. Now, the cast, surprisingly, there's got a lot of people in it that actually went on to do stuff after this movie, which, God, I don't know how, but...
the thing about this movie, it was like, the studio was behind it. It was a bigger budget movie. I mean, not huge. But they put effort.
Yeah.
Like monetary effort.
Monetary effort. So, Rudolph Rudy Curien is played by Jonathan Cherry. He's got 39 credits, including Final Destination 2, The Goon, which was a hockey movie with Sean, with basically Stifler, whatever his name was. I forget his name. Stifler. And then he was House of the Dead, Rudy, which is announced but not yet in production. So I think they're remaking this, and he's playing the same character again. Either that or it's an animated thing. I don't know. But on IMDb, it's the top of the page says The House of the Dead, as opposed to this movie, which is just House of the Dead.
Did it have a year on it?
2021 or 2022. Yeah, it says announced but not yet in production.
Oh my God.
So I don't know what's going on there, but God help us if they're redoing this.
Kick me in the balls now.
Yeah. Then we have Simon, who's played by Tyson Lietzo. 23 credits. Apparently he loves being in shitty movies based on video games because he was also in Far Cry and Blood Rain Deliverance on top of this one.
Blood Rain?
Yeah.
Now,
not the original Blood Rain, a second Blood Rain.
Because the original Blood Rain had fucking Ben Kingsley in it.
Yes, they did.
Sir Ben Kingsley in a shitty adaptation of a horror video game.
Yep.
Man, they must have been throwing buckets of money.
Buckets of money at him.
Yeah.
Then we have Alicia, played by Anna Grauer. She's got 82 credits, including Elysium, Firewall, which starred Harrison Ford and Vision himself, Mr. Paul Bettany, Percy Jackson, The Olympians, Lightning Thief, Stargate Universe, Yeti, Curse of the Snow Demon, which that sounds something like I gotta watch, Alone in the Dark, another shitty video game movie, and also appeared on iZombie and did voices for The Dead Rising for a video game. But my favorite role of hers, though, is doing the voice of Katya Casanova on the show Archer. He was the blonde Russian girl that he married for a short bit, who became an android later.
Who was she in iZombie, does it say?
I didn't write it down. It was just like a one or two.
Gotcha.
It wasn't a big thing.
I still think you should check that show out.
I did. I never got all the way through, but I got through like season 2 or 3 or something like that. Yeah.
It's a fun...
It started running its course for me. It was like, once I started, like, okay, now there's a zombie and everything. Like, once the cat's out of the bag, I'm like, okay, it's kind of losing its charm for me, but whatever.
I say stick with it. It grows. It does take a dip.
Yeah.
It comes back up. It doesn't jump the shark. It ends on where it should end.
Okay. It's been like probably a year or two since I left off, but I did start it again, and I enjoyed it for a while. All right, excuse me. Next, we have Greg, played by Will Sanderson, 41 credits. He's also a Yul Boll favorite. There's been a lot of Yul Boll movies, including In the Name of the King, a Dungeon Siege story, which starred Jason Statham, another huge star they got through buckets of money at. Blood Rain, the original, and Alone in the Dark. Again, all Yul Boll movies. Michael Ickland's plays, I forget, he's in this. He's got 133 credits. He was in See No Evil 2, which we did on the show. He was Holden. He was Zane Morgan in 8 episodes of The Bates Motel, based on the Psycho that show. He was the doll maker in CW's Arrow, which was a great show. He was also in Blood Rain Deliverance and In the Name of the King as well. So a lot of connections. Kirk, played by Jorgen Prochnow. I'm going to butcher that name. I don't know. 140 fucking credits. Lots of work. Das Boot, the original Doom, which is a sci-fi epic. Like that's sci-fi horror fame right there. Yeah. He was also in the Da Vinci Code. He was in Beer Fest.
Yeah.
He was Baron Wolfgang von Wolfhausen. He was in Judge Dredd, where he played Judge Griffin. He was in Body of Evidence, which is the Madonna Basic Instinct ripoff sex movie. He was in Air Force One with Harrison Ford.
Kurt Russell. No. That was something else.
Kurt Russell was in Air
Force.
Yeah.
My bad.
Twin Peaks, Fire Walk with Me, and Twin Peaks: The Missing Pieces. He was in that. Aaron was a big Twin Peaks fan. He was in Beverly Hills Cop 2. And he was motherfucking Sutter Kane in The Mouth of Madness, which is a great fucking movie if no one's ever seen it. Awesome movie.
He's also in an Arnold Schwarzenegger biopic, where it's him playing Arnold Schwarzenegger when he's as the governor, an older Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he does a great job, but he just doesn't have the physique.
Yeah,
he's just not that big.
No,
a guy.
He's not.
I was so. He had the little tooth thing. He's going, yeah, and just really hammering it up doing Arnold. But I'm like, I love the actor, but man, that's just they went up with substance over style.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Arnold built a whole career on
his style, not substance. Yes, I agree. That's a great point. Joanna is played by Erica Durant, 31 credits, including 85 episodes of Saving Hope, where she played the lead character. She had her own show, basically, and from this movie. Not saying she got from this movie, but yeah. She was Alora Zor-El and Noelle Neal in CW's Supergirl. And she was in 141 episodes of Smallville. For you geeks out there, she played Lois Lane, Iris, and Silver Banshee in Smallville.
What season of Supergirl?
That would have been Laura Price. If it was Supergirl's mom, I think it was. She was probably in all of them. I think she played. It was Supergirl's mom, where she was basically playing, kind of like she was like the Force of Solitude, like she was on like a memory shards or computer simulations, whatever.
The show, Kevin Caliber played Superman.
Superman on Supergirl, season 1. Yes.
Fucking
Superman. Then we have Casper, Agent Casper, played by Ellie Cornell, who every horror fan should know as Rachel from Halloween 4 and 5. And she was apparently also in House of the Dead 2, which was a TV movie, or made for TV movie. How she was in that one, I don't know. It's the same character, but we'll get to that later. And lastly, Salish, played by Clint motherfucking Howard. He now enters our potential horrible horror Hall of Fame territory, because this is now his third appearance, including Ice Cream Man and Silent Night, Deadly Night 4 marks his achievements on this show. So he's getting up there with our royalty.
Grizzly Adams. I just learned that he was the kid in Grizzly Adams. I didn't know that. Oh. Not Grizzly Adams. Gentle Ben.
Yeah, Gentle Ben.
Why am I saying Grizzly Adams? Just because of bear.
Yes.
But, yeah. Gentle Ben. He was the kid in Gentle Ben.
I did not know that either.
Yeah. Weird, right?
It is weird. Very weird. All right, so with that out of the way, I know this is a little long, guys, but here we go. We finally get into the movie itself. We open with some dude sitting on some steps talking to himself about how he came here for a rave, and then everything went to shit. And then it rolls the opening credits, which are played over scenes from the House of the Dead arcade game. Only it looks like the acid trip version, or better yet, like the old laser light show version of the game.
Yes.
It definitely looks like a laser light show.
And I didn't hate the opening credits if that's what, it's like, okay, yeah, we're watching a fucking video game horror movie. All right, yeah, go ahead and show it during the credits. We won't see him again. I'm sure we won't see him again.
You won't. That would be
If there's
silly.
any place to do it, here's the time.
Why
else would you ever do it?
One in particular is an injured woman who says, "You must stop currying or else something terrible will happen." I guess that's ripped straight from the game. Now, once that's over, we're introduced to Greg and Simon via a flashback with voiceover by the dude on the steps we just saw, along with 3 chicks named Cynthia, Karma, and Alicia. And he basically here's what he says about the characters.
Greg and Simon. Greg's the guy I played ball with in college. A good guy, if not a little goofy. Simon. They say God doesn't give with 2 hands, and they were right. You got the looks, but not much between those ears. Cynthia, Greg's girlfriend. Pure eye candy.
I'm, Simon.
Karma thinks she's foxy brown. She has a crush on Simon, but Simon only has eyes for Alicia, my ex. We broke up a few weeks ago so I could study and she could fence. She loves it. I don't see what it's good for.
That's our intro to the characters. A voiceover, terrible writing, and worse acting. Like, I love this. Just like, my ex. She broke up with me we broke up a couple weeks, so I could say she could fence. Psh, she loves it, but I don't see what it's good for. Like, what? Like, this is This is written in the movie. This is the writing and the character introductions we get. It's garbage.
And this guy's sitting on the steps by himself.
By himself.
So he's obviously telling this story to somebody.
Somebody.
Who? I guess us.
Yeah.
So he's breaking the fourth wall.
I don't know. He just is talking about it, talking to himself about his friends. And
So much dumb crap to unpack.
it's so dumb.
I just leave it in there.
And unpacked in that box.
Taking the effort out of my life to unpack this shit.
Oh god, but I mean that's the kind of writing and dialogue we're in for. So holy crap. So the five of them, they meet on this dock pier looking for a boat that's supposed to take them to the Gathering, a weekend-long rave party on some island. And you see the coordinates on the island are 48.5 degrees north by 123 degrees east.
Did you look it up?
Of course I fucking looked it up. You know I did.
Yeah.
You fucking know I did. And here's the fun fact. So, obviously you all want to know where those are. Well, it's certainly not a fucking tropical island or any island for that matter. Fuck no, because according to GPScoordinates.net, this rave is in Ulaanbaatar, Inner Mongolia, China. Not an island in the Pacific or the Caribbean. It's in fucking China. Which, if you really want to, you could actually fly into the Ulaanbaatar Haller airport code ZBLA. So go get your grave on in China, guys. There you go.
I thought for sure it'd be like Pacific Northwest.
I thought they'd at least get something like that, somewhere close.
Yeah, because they talked about like, oh, they can go back to Seattle. Like,
Yeah,
that's what
they said.
So it's Pacific Northwest. You know, there's islands all over there.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I was like, it has to be fucked up. And of course, it's Inner Mongolia.
Like landlocked dead center, like Mongolia, China. Like, how do you fuck that up? If you're gonna put a postcard probably featured in your movie with coordinates on it, at least get it somewhere in the Pacific Ocean near Seattle. Don't put it in China.
I just wish it went, when did the Mongols rule China? As for getting on the boat. But yeah, did you notice the card?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you remember getting those in like the late 90s, early 2000s to go to raves or parties? I'm like, this is the party.
Yeah, a
like
little
the
bit.
Flyers.
Yeah, the flyers. On college campuses, yeah.
It was those like nice card stock, and I'm like always felt
glossy
cool.
finish.
Like, someone give it to me. I'm like, wow, you guys put a lot of effort into this. You guys should check this out. And then I go to it, and it's like a shitty basement party.
Yeah.
Like, fuck this.
Somebody trying to sell you like a $10, $20 all you need cup of beer. Drink from the keg, all you can drink. Yeah.
They got like a strobe light. And they're like, ooh.
Yeah.
Put far more effort in their flyers than
Yeah.
their actual party.
Yes. So anyway, the dude on the step continues his narration, saying that his pals missed the boat to the rave, and if only they'd stay in Seattle, they'd all be alive today. Bum, bum, bum.
So thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks for spoiling the
Thanks for
movie. I guess
spoiling
turn
the
it
movie.
off. I guess.
Yeah.
All right, no point in watching this now.
I guess all these guys are gonna die.
Yeah.
Thanks, asshole.
So now we jump to the rave party in full swing. The stage. There's a stage. The DJ's playing on it. And the stage is dominated by a giant Sega banner.
Sonic the Hedgehog's in a beer bong.
Yeah. Like, I never knew Sega was into sponsoring weekend-long drug and booze-fueled rave getaways.
Tails is doing bong rips.
Yeah, maybe if they spent more money and time on their console development and research departments, maybe instead of raves, maybe they'd still be in business today.
Knuckles is doing the 5-knuckle shuffle up in some girl's twat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Grant, don't hit me. I know Sega's still around. They're a game developer, not a console developer anymore, but seriously, come on. They lost it after.
They definitely did.
This was like basically right after Sega went out, because this is 2003, so Dreamcast and Saturn was like just a few years before this, and then they were done.
Well, Dreamcast I know was like 2000.
Something like maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, it was still
like,
around
it was-
PlayStation 2 time. So I mean, I said this was like their last hurrah. So maybe it's like, hey, that no save our company.
and you
Let's
saw-
sponsor this shitty
You
movie.
saw how they went. They're just like, well, let's like really feature ourselves prominently at the raves, where girls are just taking their tops off
Yep.
and shaking their tits.
Sega.
Say titties.
So anyway, speaking of the rave, and there are two hot chicks dancing on stage. One's this Asian girl wearing an American flag bodysuit, and the other's is just wearing a black bikini and black boots.
And it comes off pretty quick.
And the bikini top comes off pretty quick, yeah. Apparently, our narrator dude is also at the rave. He's talking about how he was trying his best to function as a single dude, but something was nibbling away at his subconscious because he's so brooding and dark, and something's going on, and I'm Batman. Something's not right. I don't know. It's shit. We cut back to the group on the docks. They find a fishing boat, which they try to hire to take them to the island. And here we meet Clint Howard as one of the fishermen / deckhands who tells them to shove off. They're not for hire.
I love Shalish or Shalish.
Shalish? Whatever.
Fisherman.
Gordon's fisherman, Clint Howard.
He looks like Fish Stick Gordon Stick,
Yeah.
Gordon Stick.
Thick fin.
But some more.
Yeah, he gets cut off by the captain, and I shit you not, guys. The captain's name is Captain Kirk. Beam me up, Scotty. Captain Kirk says he'll take them for $600. But Clint Howard freaks out. But once they learn, like, oh, we're taking it to that island, like, we're refused. We're not going to that island. That island's got bad mojo.
And Captain Kirk's like, yeah, get the fuck out. Nope, we're not going. He's on board with that.
It tells them that island is called the Island of the Dead. But Simon offers up $1,000 now, to which Kirk has a sudden change of heart. He's like, okay, we'll do it.
So, hold on.
Howard, go on.
You're offering $1,000, a cool G,
Yep.
to go to a Sega-sponsored rave?
Yep. On some island.
We already saw the rave. I mean, it looked like there was maybe 100 people there.
If maybe.
That's being generous.
But it's super exclusive. And it's not. And the weird thing is, I don't know. When I think of raves, you think of like black lights, warehouses, lots of light, just like out in the middle of a fucking field in the middle of the day. Like, that's not the time to have a rave. At least do it at night. It's all about glow sticks and the neon and the lights. And this is the middle of the fucking afternoon. And it's just like, it's so weird. So Simon offers to pull out $1,000. He's like, yep, okay, here we go. And off they go. And now agents or officers from the United States Marine Patrol show up demanding that Kirk stand down and prepare to be boarded. Also, in case you're wondering, there really is no such thing as the United States Marine Patrol. Does not exist. There are things as Marine Patrols, but they are usually State Department level, kind of like your state police or a state park or forest ranger, not a federal organization, because that would just be called the fucking Coast Guard. Simon asks what's going on. Kirk tells them they're probably looking for guns and drugs. And this will probably take a few hours. Like, guns and drugs? Really? Really? You sound more like you should be this. This would be like the DEA, not like your local forest ranger jurisdiction. If you're looking for guns and drugs, that is serious. That's DEA, Coast Guard, forest ranger level shit. Not, hey, I need to see your fishing license type shit.
Make sure this is up to code.
Yeah. Like, come on.
You got proper drainage system on this?
Yeah. Let's make sure. Is your engine pass emissions? Like, is your equipment say, like, this is bullshit right now. So Simon asks Kirk again, how much will it cost to lose them? And he pulls out like giant drug dealer sized wad of cash. I'm like, fucking A, guys, what is up with Simon? I mean, goddamn. Like, it's only a fucking party. And they're trying to bribe a ship captain to resist law enforcement officers and to outrun them in a fishing boat. But fucking Kirk says, sure, why not? And just hits the accelerator, the throttle, and pulls away from the dock, leaving the officers behind.
Afterwards, he goes, I would have done it for
free.
I hate those guys.
Yeah. And then you hear the officers like radio into HQ, like, hey, they took off and we're heading out after Kirk, 10-4, whatever. But makes me wonder, what the fuck does Simon do for a living? Like, at this point, keep in mind, they're basically college kids. Because the burp says college kids go to an elite rave. And he's a college kid pulling out, he's already paid at least $1,000 just to get the boat hired. Now he's another $500 or more for him to lose them. What college kid? What has that much money just walking around with him?
And he's wearing Skechers.
Is he wearing
Skechers? Son of a bitch is wearing Skechers.
Skechers was a hot thing back then, man.
Goddamn drug dealer or someone who can make some decent money. Get some fucking grown-up shoes. Skechers, I swear to God, there was the big, bulky, clunky Skechers too.
Yeah, this one they were still skate shoes.
Oh, they were fucking moon boots, dude. I swear to God, they were so ridiculous because he looked like You know, I had a pair of jeans on, a button-up shirt, like a nice.
I think they're jeans. I think they're like dress
he
slacks.
looked regular, and then he had these fucking Skechers
Yep.
on.
Well, I'm sure Skechers and Sega were sponsors, man. You gotta get that shit in.
I actually looked to see if Skechers did sponsor this movie. I didn't do a deep dive, but I couldn't find anything.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because the eye candy chick, she's also wearing Skechers.
Yeah. Cynthia, who isn't really even that eye candy-ish. She's not that good looking. Anyway, so we cut back to the island where we meet this couple who they just go off on their own, and they're down at the coast, and the girl wants to go swimming and leads her man down to the water. The dude screams of early 2000s. He's wearing khaki cargo pants with a brightly colored print, like short sleeve button up shirt with puka shell necklace and the Eminem bleach blonde hair. Like, fuck, I knew so many people like this in college back in the day.
Welcome to Journeys. Welcome to yeah. I'm trying these Doc Martens.
Doc Martin. That's what I showed they should have been wearing. Skechers and Doc Martens would have been like the two shoe brands to be wearing for this time period. So the girl strips down to her skimpy white thong and wades into the water, and she's got a nice little body and her cute little tits. The man refuses to get in the water because it's too cold for him, so he hangs back. The next are two short scenes. One's of the Marine Patrol agent chasing after the fishing boat in their own boat, and the other's of Greg getting seasick and vomiting all over Cynthia's shirt. That's it. We move on. We go back to the couple on the shore. The girl's skinning. We learn the guy's name's Matt. You know.
Doesn't fucking matter.
What'd you say?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
There you go. It doesn't matter.
It's a very.
It doesn't matter.
That's a very aggressive rock.
It is a very aggressive rock.
Jesus.
Because
It doesn't matter.
That's right. Matt's laying on the rocky shore, which just looks uncomfortable because it's not a sandy beach. It's like rocks and pebbles.
It just feels like a fucking 13-year-old who got beat by his drunken stepfather wrote this part. It's like, well, he must have had too much to drink and fell asleep. You're fucking going to be banging this smoke show.
Yeah.
And she's gallivanting around the water, you know, and you're laying down on a rocky
pebbly beach, and like Aaron said, he just passes out for no fucking reason.
Yeah,
he just lays down out cold.
Yeah,
like what the fuck?
Just like the drunken stepfather would.
I think he drank the wrong beer because this is a rave. You know, he probably roofied that chick's beer, and he accidentally drank the wrong one. Whoopsie. The girl starts getting all freaked out by something in the water because you see bubbles coming up.
And dude, there is a generic ass Jaws theme going on here. It's like bum 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 bum. It's under the water coming up in her legs, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you even teasing me with a fucking Jaws theme ripoff? Okay.
All right.
Well, fuck you.
Fuck you. So back on shore, something attacks Matt, but we never see what it is or what happens. Just see the camera like zooming, and he's like, and then that's it. The girl swims back to shore. Nothing happens to her either. She's fine. When she gets back and she sees Matt's gone, and then we just cut back to the fishing boat where Cynthia is now topless below deck, trying to wash the vomit out of her shirt, just hanging out, titties all up in the air, just all out. In comes Clint Howard. And instead of covering herself up like a normal person would, she just stands there half naked, giving creepy Clint Howard a full and eye fold.
And just giving the business.
Yeah.
Like, take a picture, it'll last longer.
Yeah, she gives him a good eye full, and she's the one who's like, get a good look, perv, or good peek, or something like that. I'm like, really? He's not being perverted. He just walked. You're the one standing there with no shirt on. He just walked in.
On his
boat. It's right. You're on his boat, or at least the boat he works on. Howard offers her a large crucifix necklace, which she says it's for her protection. It'll ward off evil spirits. Again, during this whole conversation, she just stands there, tits out, and I was like, what fucking girl would do this? No girl would do this.
Again, it's 13-year-old writing.
Yeah. Howard leaves, and she places the crucifix on the counter next to the sink, never to be seen again. Back on the island, the skinny dipper chick is now dressed and wandering through the forest looking for Matt. She stumbles upon an old building that looks like kind of an old chapel or church, like complete with its own cemetery.
Yeah.
Here, of course.
Borderline dilapidated.
Yeah, it's stone. It looks like something you'd see almost like an old Western movie, like those old.
But it's like in a deciduous forest.
Yes.
It's like mossy and kind of like, you know, it just looks like it's old.
Yeah, and this is now you can see this is the steps leading up to, or the same steps that the narrator dude was sitting on at the beginning of the movie. She enters the building, which for some reason has candles still lit inside. I don't know why, but there's lit candles in here. She turns the corner and finds Matt just standing there with blood dripping out of his mouth. And then suddenly a hand comes bursting through Matt's chest as several zombies come out from fucking nowhere, swarm both Matt and her. The zombies grab her. There's a very fast freeze frame, like flash of light, and then just cuts away to a super fast zooming out shot that takes us all the way off the coast of the island. Like, what? So, zombies attack, freeze frame, flash of light, camera zoom, like on crack, zooms out of the church, through the forest, up in the air, and like out into the ocean. Like, wow, okay, but sure. All right, and we cut to another couple now about to have sex out in the forest. They instantly get attacked, but all we see are super fast flashes of blurry camera movement or something. I don't know. It's impossible to tell what's happening. It's over in a blink of an eye, and that's it. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. So
there's a lot of that.
A lot of that, yes. At this point, the fishing boat finally makes it to the island. At the same time, the Marine Patrol boat, we hear the female officer say she knows where Kirk's gonna land, so she orders her partner to drop her off on the other side of the island. What? That makes zero fucking sense. If you're chasing someone, if you're a law enforcement, a patrol, and you know where that person you're chasing is gonna be, why in the blue fuck would you go to the furthest opposite side of where that would be?
Sporting chance.
What? This is the stupidest logic. Like, it's hey, he's gonna be here. Take me right there now. No, let's go all the way to the other side of the island. That's oh my god, who wrote this shit?
And I'm thinking also, these guys are law enforcement. They're gonna have more of a sleek, slick, quick boat. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Maybe not the super fastest boat, but they need to have a fast fucking boat if they're gonna be chasing people.
Yeah, especially if you're hunting drug and gun runners off the coast of Seattle.
Fucking slow, giant fishing boat that's just putting along.
That looks like it's like one screw and wash away from just falling apart and sinking. It's a rust bucket.
I hate this.
So our main group makes it to the shore and they head off while Kirk and Howard decide to stash their merchandise from the boat on the island so the Marine Patrol people cannot find it.
So they are dirty.
So yeah, I guess they are smugglers or black market dealers or something now. I guess they are dirty. So we cut to Alicia leading the group through the forest. They come to a small river that looks like it belongs in the fire swamps of the Princess Bride.
Yes! I'm expecting an ROUS
yes!
to jump out.
Yeah, exactly. That would be rodents of unusual size for those of you not in the know.
It could also be the Bog of Stench.
Yes, the bog. That's what I'm. Yes, not the fire. The Bog of Stench.
The Bog of Stench from the Labyrinth.
Yes, that's from the Labyrinth. That's probably a better. Yeah, that's more because the water's bubbly and gurgly and either one works.
The fire swamp still had murky, watery places.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was getting Bog of Stench.
Thank you. That's much better than mine. I agree. That's better than mine. Yeah, much better. All right, so we get more flashes of arcade game shots as transitions here.
Yeah, this is the first time we get this flash of the arcade game shot. Because I
since the credits, this is the first transition.
When that transition happened, I was like, hold on, did I just have an acid flashback? Why in the world would there be a flash of the video game House of the Dead in the movie? But it happened as just cutting from one scene to another.
Yeah, it's our transition. Bang, bang, bang.
And I'm like, what? What?
Yep, that's in here. And that ain't the last time it's gonna happen either. Then we cut back to Kirk and Howard unloading large crates. Howard says, "Hey, it looks like a storm's about to come in," and Kirk wants to hurry up and unload so they can leave before the storm hits. Clint Howard's like, well, what about the kids? And Kirk's face like, fuck them, we're leaving. This is a terrible island. We're getting out of here. I'm sorry. Howard doesn't want to leave them on such a terrible island, but Kirk's like, fuck it, we're out of here. There you go. Bunch of dummies. Our main group finally makes it to the rave as night falls, but when they get there, they find the rave is in tatters and abandoned.
With bloody clothes on the ground. And then it's like, yeah,
Get the kegs! Only Alicia seems worried and concerned that there's no sign of anybody else here.
Because the girls are just dancing to no music, like dry humping each other.
And Greg and Simon are jumping over the bar and getting the kegs. Yep.
Yeah.
So she decides to go off and try to find what happened to everyone else. And she is able to Karma and Simon go off with her, leaving Greg and Cynthia alone together.
Oh, she picks up a bloody shirt. It's like, guys,
yeah.
Don't you think something bad happened here? They're like, fuck it, who cares?
Fuck it.
They don't give a shit. The
Nope.
place is like turned upside down.
Tents are collapsed and there's holes in them. The stage is down. I mean, it's just DJ stands knocked over. Porta pies are on their side.
Around.
No one's around.
And they're just like, whatevs.
Yeah, the rave of the year. There's no one's there. It just looks like a tornado ran through there. Yeah.
It's so dumb.
It is fucking
Ridiculous.
It's fucktarded. I almost said it. So we go back to Howard, who is struggling with a large crate, and he starts to hear loud growling and movement in the forest around him. He gets attacked and killed, but just like everyone else so far, we don't fucking see what happens. It's just
killed by blurry
vision and freeze frames, and I'm getting at this point. I'm really fucking pissed off about this fact. Like I'm getting really mad about this.
I'm starting to get like worried.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
This is like a video game. This is a classic arcade game.
Arcade.
It was like decent, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk more about the arcade game at the end of this, but yeah.
I was gonna say before too. But I was thinking, okay, this is a classic arcade game with like, you know, gore and monsters and stuff like this, and you're giving us shaky cam.
You're giving us early 80s like freeze frame cutaway kills. Like bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. So we jump back to Greg and Cynthia getting it on in a tent, but he stops and leaves to go take a piss, leaving her alone. While out in the forest, the other three are getting stalked by zombies throughout the forest, but they don't see them. Kirk's back in the bill, calling out for Clint Howard, getting no reply. He grabs a handgun and lights a cigar, and we go right back to Cynthia, who starts hearing growling coming from outside the tent. The tent now gets swarmed by zombies who tear their way into it. She screams, another fucking flash of light, and it cuts away again back to the three in the forest. So fuck you, movie. Fuck you.
There's something we haven't talked about yet, which I'm surprised you haven't picked up on it. Maybe you're just rage watching. But when Clint Howard's unpacking his...
Wait, I know where you're getting at, and I think I do talk about this coming up, but go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
I do. But, I totally do. All right.
Well, let's talk about it when we come.
We can talk about it now. It's not that big. All right. Whatever. And actually, speaking of my notes, it's actually right here. Oh, by the way, it's my very next note. So good on you. Like you said earlier, Clint's like, "Hey, there's a big storm coming in, right?" Okay.
While Clint is unpacking his fucking stuff,
yeah,
it's raining all over him.
Yeah.
As we know, it's like, yeah, okay, sure, here comes a storm. Is it raining anywhere else?
Nope. Fuck that. The rain is like only isolated. Like the only people getting rained on is the boat.
Yeah.
Kirk and Howard were getting rained on at the boat. The rest of the island, dry as a fucking desert. Like it's just no rain whatsoever. Clear skies, clear night skies.
And then maybe 500 feet away from each other.
Maybe a mile at most.
At most.
It's a small island.
Yes.
And there's like, no rain here. I picked up on that real quick. I was like, I can't believe this.
I had a girlfriend, you know her, Angie.
Yes.
Yeah. She would always say, the rain has to end somewhere. And I'm like, because she always swore that she had this spot in her backyard when she was watching, and like on one side of the yard it was raining, on the other side it wasn't. And I'm like,
I mean, technically, it does have to stop.
Like that.
Technically, a rain stops somewhere. I mean,
like,
when you're driving down the road, it's dry, and all of a sudden you hit the rain. Like, or you drive so long, you drive through the rain, it stops. Yeah, a rain stops somewhere, but not like this. And that's not like... And it kind of a transition. Heavy rain, light sprinkle, and kind of fades off. This is like a fucking downpour to nothing.
The rain has to stop somewhere. It's almost like The Crow.
Yeah, or something real cheaty, like gothy emo song or something like that from like the rain's gotta stop somewhere.
She was a total emo gothy girl before emo gothy was a thing. She was just a metal chick who didn't have
alternative,
didn't have goth at the time. All she had was Metallica. She didn't know what else to do.
Metallica, Nirvana,
right.
Pearl Jam, So anyway, the three of them are now in the forest. They come across the same old church and cemetery that we saw earlier. they go inside where they get startled by the 3 remaining survivors of the rave, which, by the way, no sign of the 2 people just got ripped apart in there just moments ago. No blood or body parts anywhere. Just completely no sign of them. But they meet 3 new survivors of the rave. The first of which is the narrator guy who we saw sitting on the steps in the opening named Rudy. There's also the cute Asian chick in the American flag bodysuit who was dancing on the Sega stage.
Liberty.
Her name is Liberty. And then the last one is just some guy with a camcorder who shows them footage of the zombie attack at the rave. Because like every movie in like the early 2000s for some reason always had that one asshole going around with a fucking camera filming everything.
I was going to say the exact same fucking thing. Oh man, we're like simpatico on this shit. Bro, I was going to say the exact same thing. Now, where did they meet him again?
In the church.
In the church?
Uh-huh.
God damn it.
So, all 6 of them now head back to the rave to get the others. During this walk, we learn that Simon is supposed to be the biggest underwear model in America. That's his claim to fame.
So that's how he has those cool $1,000.
He's got them Calvin Klein skivvies money, apparently. No. This guy, fuck this guy. Like, biggest underwear model in America.
Fun fact.
Yes.
The maid of honor of my wife, Shahira, she dated a Calvin Klein underwear model who had billboards in New York and LA and stuff like that. Guess how much he made? Not thousands of fucking dollars! Now, granted, he may not have been at the top in America, but he was on fucking billboards in Times Square and shit. Then he got depression and got real fat.
Oh. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I hung out with him like
I'm sorry,
twice.
I mean, depression's not funny, but the way, that's funny the way you said
I
it.
hung out with him like twice, and he's, you know, the first time I hung out with him, he was still like, he's a very good looking guy, you know, he's got the hair.
Of course, he's a fucking model.
But then like the next time I saw him was like a year later, and he's like, we were eating at a fucking like.
See somebody's like a pizza buffet or something.
Pizza, like Blackthorn pizza.
Blackthorn.
The dude was just putting it down. And, like, oh.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
The struggle's real, man. The struggle's real. So at this point, we get more flashes of the arcade game goodness. It's bam, 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 as we transition again. They make it back to the rave site where they find an overturned porta potty with someone banging on it from the inside.
Oh, God.
Rudy opens it up, and Greg comes spilling out covered in shit.
In like strategically placed brown spots.
Yeah.
Like, God damn, this was written by a 13-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And the porta potty got kicked over, and he's covered in poo. God damn it.
Yeah. So he explains what happened to him. That Cynthia, and then Cynthia, covered in blood, comes rushing out from behind the tent and kills the camcorder guy by snapping his neck with one hand. One-handed neck snap. She then goes after Greg and Rudy, but bang! Out rings a gunshot, and Cynthia goes flying back like 20 fucking feet, crashing through a tent, dead.
In slow motion.
Out from the darkness comes the female Marine Patrol officer, who we can finally see is played by Ellie Cornell, and we learn here that her name is Jordan Casper.
And she looks just about as excited to be there as she is to get a pap smear.
Yeah, she looks dead inside this entire movie.
Yeah, she's
like, I was in Halloween 4, god damn it, and this is why she looks dead.
God damn it. This is what my career's come to.
So she then shoots Cynthia in the head with like a handgun, killing her. But I gotta say, I have to comment on the fact that Casper shot Cynthia with an M16 at first. Yet Cynthia goes flying through there like she was shot out of a goddamn cannon. M16s do not send someone flying through the air like that. They do not have that much stopping force. They're great weapons, great assault rifles, but they are not fucking shotguns that are going to take somebody off their goddamn feet with one shot.
She does weigh like 90 pounds.
Still.
It's the Skechers. She bounced a little bit off the Skechers and just went flying.
Jesus Christ. If she did this with a large shotgun, I'd have no issues with this whatsoever, but it's a fucking M16.
Do you remember the Skechers with those springy steps in them?
Yes.
Not the Nike Shocks, but it was like imitation Nike Shocks.
Yeah.
That's what she was wearing. Boing!
Boing.
Just bounced right back.
Tigger feet, I guess, or I don't know. So The reactions
Did you
of...
drop a Winnie the Pooh reference?
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming.
No, I didn't see that one either. I just like came to me. So the reactions of Cynthia's friends seeing her as a zombie, then kill a man, and then get fucking blown to pits after trying to kill them is like laughable to non-existent. There's like,
It's like they're on the line at the DMV.
yes.
They're just like, huh.
Well, that happened. All
It's
right.
like they just saw someone like kind of get upset that they couldn't get their,
Their sticker.
license plates today, and they storm off like, whoa.
Huh.
Wow,
All right.
oh, boy.
Yeah. That's it's terrible. My God. No, I'm like, holy fuck, what just happened? There's like, all right, whatever.
I'm number 5.
Number 5.
I'm
5. Okay, Bert. Cut back to the boat and to some zombies swimming under the water like he's fucking Aquaman. Because I guess I don't think I've ever seen zombies swim like this before, ever.
Except for Zombie, I think. That's when they had the underwater, the Italian Fulci flick where the zombie fights a shark underwater. That's the only time I've seen a zombie swim.
Okay. I'm not sure if I've seen that. Anyway, zombies start to climb onto the boat. Kurt, who's just standing there in the rain smoking a cigar, has zero fucking reaction to seeing about a dozen or so zombies emerging out of the water and climbing onto his boat. He's just like, all right, bang, bang, bang. Shoots it calmly shoots them all one by one like this shit's old hat.
I love this scene. Just smoking a cigar, waiting for Chalice for some reason. He should have been long fucking gone by now.
Yeah.
And he's just chilling out, smoking cigars, like looks over, zombie. Well, look at my Desert Eagle out, and boom! Oh, there's another one. Puff, puff, puff. Boom! And there's another one. Boom, boom. He's like just walking back and forth on his boat, just taking motherfuckers out. It is hilarious.
Yeah. I was just dumbfounded by that scene. So we cut back. Where was I? Nope, we just did that. Back on the island, our new bigger group is walking through the forest. Zombies are seen running through the trees all around them, and then peeking out from behind some branches is a zombie that looks more like a Dark Lord of the Sith from a Star Wars video game than like, I don't know. It's definitely like the focus point of the zombies so far. He's also like got stitches across his face. He looks like a Sith Lord to me. The group ends up back at the the Bog of Stench. Thank you.
Yes, the Bog of Stench.
The Bog of Stench area. They cross the small wooden bridge over the bubbling, boiling fart water. A zombie comes bursting up from underneath, smashing through the wooden planks. Rudy falls over, gets a nail impaled through his hand while the zombie grabs Carmen's ankle. She starts clawing at her.
But she don't play.
She don't play.
Kicking the shit out of his face with her fucking boots. I'm like, good on you.
Yeah. She kicks it off. Casper shoots it, kills it, and everything's fine. We move on. But then it just cuts to all of them running through the forest and being chased by dozens of zombies.
Yeah, they're like okay, they fought him off on the bridge, and they go. She's like the leader of the chick, the blonde.
Casper,
yeah. She goes, run!
I don't think she even says that. He's like, are you okay? And it's like quiet. There's no music, no tension. She's like,
run!
I don't think they even say. I think she's like, let's move.
Run!
It's so quiet, and then like it's all peaceful, and then just cut, running through the woods,
as like
and
rave shit plays.
And I should mention at this point, we haven't mentioned it yet, but the zombies here are like Left 4 Dead or 28 Day Later zombies, not Romero zombies, because these fuckers are running, hauling ass.
House of the Dead zombies.
Not even House of the Dead zombies either. They're full on Left 4 Dead, 28 Days Later.
House of the Dead zombies were lumbering zombies that would lumber.
Yeah, they were Romero. They were Romero, Resident Evil zombies. The group makes it back to the shore and spot the boat, but no sign of Kirk. Simon takes off running down the dock, dives into the water. At the same time, all the others see the boat is now inhabited by zombies. The zombies on the boat all start jumping into the water to go after Simon, who tries to swim back to the dock.
I fucking love this part. Instead of zombies being like, they got your boat, bitch, you're not going anywhere. They're like, we're coming after you. They jump in the water after him. And it's so funny because when Simon first jumps in the water, like, I want to do this, like, he jumps in, everyone sees the zombies now go, Simon, stop! Simon, stop! Simon, oh my god! And he's just like, fuck you!
Yeah, he's got plenty of time to stop. He's like, nope, I'm going.
I understand you got the water, they're splashing, but you're also in a zombie goddamn situation.
Yep.
If someone's screaming, if 10 people or whatever are screaming your fucking name, you might want to go, whoa, maybe something's wrong. Nope.
Well, the thing is, you can clearly see him because you see the shot of him running down the dock where he's looking right at the boat, which it has zombies on it. He jumps in the water. He's swimming towards the boat. And you can see the zombies jumping in the water after him, but he's still like, it takes him forever to be like, oh, shit, maybe I will turn back.
Marshall, he's an underwear model.
That's right. Oh, yeah, he's not the smartest.
He can do it all.
Yeah. So, for some reason now, the Asian chick, Liberty, she also decides to run into the water now armed with a knife. It's like, what? Why is she running into the water? She wades in.
Like, way far away from Simon.
Yeah, like she's supposed to be going in to help him because one, she's nowhere near him, and two, she's going the slow, long way to get there. Like, what is she doing?
Walking in off the shore. There's a dock that runs leads follow the dock, go up the dock, then you can jump in. Nope, she's like walking slowly through the sludgy marsh to get to fucking Simon.
So all right, guys. We need to take a quick break there because during that I noticed that there was a serious issue going on with our audio that I wish I would have picked up on a lot sooner. That's my fault. I apologize for because looking at the audio files and the waves, the tracks, figured out that Aaron's track was not being picked up properly. So I know of this entire time up to this point, Aaron probably sounds like he was, I don't know, underwater or off in the distance somewhere. But for some reason, it was all mixed up. But we got it fixed out. So Aaron's track should be fine now. And Aaron,
can't you hear me better now, guys?
Yeah, he should be doing much better now.
Can't you hear my buttery, silky voice in your ear holes? And also, all the jokes that you didn't laugh at that I said is because of Marshall.
That's my fault. All right, so let's get back on track.
Well, I'm glad you caught it.
Yes,
I'm glad you caught it.
I was looking at the tracks and I was like, wait a minute, why is my track identical to Aaron's track? They should be vastly different. Like, oh shit, there's something wrong. We're being picked up on it. So yeah. Anyway, we fixed it. Let's move on. So anyway, Casper stands on the dock. She starts shooting zombies with her M16, covering Simon as he's trying to swim back to the others. But he gets grabbed, pulled under the water, but he's able to manage to get back to the surface. Liberty, to nobody's surprise, also gets grabbed and pulled under by a zombie because her dumbass went into the water for some reason.
Here's something weird when Liberty gets grabbed. She's wading into the water. She's standing on her 2 feet.
Yep.
And she's like, what, 5 foot? She's a pretty small lady.
Yeah.
And out pops a zombie, grabs her, and they show an underwater shot of her in the deepest, darkest waters.
Yes, deepest, darkest.
I had it
like shark's fin. Yeah.
Deepest, bluest.
Deepest, bluest. I know. But,
yeah.
Creative liberties.
Hello, Cool J. We should do that movie sometime.
Shark Week's coming.
Oh. Don't tease me, Marshall.
I know. That's too good. It's too good for this show.
Is it? I don't know, man.
But no, I thought the same thing. Like Liberty's saying, like she's waist deep water at most.
Yeah.
She gets grabbed, put her, and then when you just turn the water, like the zombies like pushing her all the way like above, like with the hands on her shoulders, pushing her down, and her legs are feeling like she's out in the middle of the ocean somewhere.
Yeah, it's
like it's 0 cents.
Like they did the underwater shot and it just ruined everything.
Yeah.
Just show him shoving her underwater.
Yeah, that's exactly. You don't need the underwater shot.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, what? Did she just teleport?
Yeah.
What's going on?
So, where was he? But Liberty gets saved by Kirk now, who shows up on like a cliffside, raining down lead from above. Once all the zombies are dead, they all regroup. Simon starts kicking one of the zombie corpses, like, motherfucker, take that.
So that's cool.
Yeah, because that's the goal. But the zombie's not quite dead because it rolls over and spits acid in his face like it's fucking reptile from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah! No, I actually like this. I actually like this part because there's just so many video games you play where zombies, like, eventually just start puking acid at you. It happened in Resident Evil. It happened in House of Dead. It happened in other games. It's like the zombies just go bleh, and like barf a little bit at you. Like, it gives them a little bit of range.
What zombies in Resident Evil puke?
The original Resident Evil, there is barfing zombies.
Yeah. But I don't think the vomit, like, they might have just thrown up for, like, ambience or just.
No, it hit you. It hurt you.
Did it?
Yeah.
I don't remember, but okay.
Yeah, trust me. Yeah, because
I'll believe you. It's just been a long. I just don't remember barfing zombies.
It's when the zombies, like, right when you start getting like the hunters.
Okay.
That's when the zombies got a little stronger or a little like they barf on you.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
Yeah.
I just don't remember. It's been a long time.
So when I saw a barfing zombie, I'm like, yay!
So anyway, now I have no idea why they do what they do next, because instead of just getting back on Kirk's fucking boat,
yes,
which is right fucking there and now completely devoid of all zombies because they killed them all, which would be the smartest thing in the world. Hey, the boat's clear, guys. Let's get on and drive away. But fuck no, they don't. Casper then orders Greg to come with her back to her boat, which is parked a mile away
on the other side of the island,
while others just stay put and wait here.
It doesn't make any
fucking shit,
like,
man.
I was like, okay, they just cleared all this. I'm like, okay, they're gonna get on the boat. They're not getting on the boat. Why aren't they getting on the boat? Did they ever explain why they're not getting on the boat? Did I miss something? I'm not gonna rewind it. Fuck that.
I'm not rewinding. Fuck it.
But yeah, if you missed it too, then they must have fucked up.
Yeah,
because it doesn't make any fucking sense not to get on the goddamn boat.
I'm pretty sure they fucking. Because I don't remember them at all saying any reason why they couldn't get right back on Kirk's boat and leave.
Even if it doesn't fucking work,
get on the boat.
Even if it's dead in the water, you get on the fucking boat and you're off the island. You can see zombies coming at you.
You basically have the high ground. You're isolated. You'd be safer there. Yeah. And worst case, it's a boat. All boats are required and should have backup oars. Worst thing is you could paddle yourself out somehow. At least get away. Like,
God damn it.
Stupid. God damn it. It's fucktarded. So off Casper and Greg go, leaving the others behind. And now we get story time led by Kirk, who tells the others the legend of the island. About a banished, exiled Spanish padre named Castillo, who was banished for his horrible, unholy experiments. Because priests love to experiment on dead people.
And the Spanish were so prevalent in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
No, they weren't. God damn it.
Yeah. I have a big thing about that going up. So we cue the flashback. It takes us probably somewhere in like the 1700s. I don't know.
Yeah, when they should be discovering Florida.
Yeah. Well, Florida was actually the oldest, but that was probably before then. But anyway, begin a scene between basically Hispanic Mr. Clean and Fat Captain Crunch.
Dude, perfect description.
Hispanic Mr. Clean is chained up, but somehow still manages to kill Fat Captain Crunch by strangling him with his own chains.
Because apparently he got loose? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, like he just shit-talked Captain Crunch to him and going, hey, gets in his face. And...
yeah, come here. And he strangles him and he's dead. We cut back to Kirk, who finishes the story, which isn't even much of a story, saying that Castillo murdered the crew, enslaved the natives of this island, and killed whoever came here ever since. Wait, hold on a second. So this guy was on a ship getting exiled from Spain, but this island is off the coast of Seattle. Does anyone else see something wrong here?
Yeah.
How the fuck does this ship get from Spain to Seattle? Are you telling me they fucking sailed around the Terra del Fuego, the tip of Argentina, or the Cape Horn and through the Drake Passage? Fuck that noise! Now, maybe they could have taken it straight to Magellan, but still, that's a hell of a long journey just to exile one dude from Spain to travel all the way across the Atlantic Ocean, down through the Caribbean seas, down through the southern Atlantic, around the tip of South America, up through the Pacific Ocean, all the way up to the islands of Seattle. Because that's where they ended up. What? What?
I'm right there with
No!
you.
No!
I was saying the same thing, but you laid it out beautifully.
No! No!
There! God damn it! What?
Dude, it tipped me off right when fucking Clint Howard is like, well, it's the island of Muerte. It's like, that's a Spanish name. And I'm like, well, hold on. The Spanish weren't there. What the fuck is going on? And I love the way you did that, baby. Cheers.
Thank you. Oh my god. Like, this was, oh boy. So, we jump back to Casper and Greg, and Casper suddenly has a giant camouflage duffel bag full of gear over his shoulder.
Sure.
And Greg's wearing like a tactical harness and belt with grenades on it. Like, where the fuck did that all come from?
Sure.
Because the scene before, they didn't have that cut away, and now it's there. So, of course, they get instantly attacked by zombies as a zombie swarm comes. They all take off running. They get separated. And goddamn, is the camera here work nauseating. Because the shots were, it's basically they just put the camera right in front of Greg's face, and like it's like on a harness like this, right? So it's just like a close up of his face and him running towards the camera. It's like it's fucking Blair Witch like project shit all over.
Yeah.
Like, it is nauseating. It's terrible. So and then it's just a blurry, vomit-inducing mess. Also, during this scene, that's not that they do one of the wide shots of the zombies chasing. If you have a good eye, you can clearly see the springboard that catapults a zombie through the air, like fucking Evil Knievel or something like that, or Superstar Dave or what his name was.
Super Dave.
Super Dave. Yeah, thank you.
R.I.P. Super Dave.
Yes. Yeah, you can see the springboard come up behind a bush, and the zombie go boo, go flying, and the springboard just like goes wah, 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 and just kind of sits there.
I missed it. I must have missed it.
Yeah, it's right there. So now Greg does his best Hobbit impression. They take a page from Lord of the Rings. Because he tries to hide under like this tree root that's like half on like a exposed hill.
It's right when the hobbits are hiding from the Black Rider.
Yeah,
and he's like sniffing around because you can feel
it's a shot for shot.
Exact fucking
the
remake.
zombie like looks over, goes,
yeah,
and then just moves on. Like it's the exact thing. So the zombies move on. Greg comes out, but he steps on a branch and learns the zombies, and they chase him again. Greg ends up getting surrounded, swarmed, pulled down to the ground underneath a pile of zombies. And now the shitty movie does something really fucking strange here that I've never seen ever in my life in any movie. So I know this is based on a game, so I don't know if this is supposed to be like a game over death screen.
Oh god.
But like you might get in a video game or something, but it cuts to Greg. So he gets pulled down by zombies are like, "Arr, arr, arr," and then it just cuts to Greg standing still all by himself,
with
like in the
dumb fucking look on his face.
Yeah, nothing around him, nothing at all around him, and the camera does this 360 spin around him, and then just fades like a blood red screen. That's it. Like what is that?
Did we just see the death cut?
Yeah,
like the death scene?
It's like game over screen.
Just waiting for it to say like you are dead or Greg is dead.
Greg is dead. Yeah, like what? Like this is the weirdest thing. Like oh my god,
that was so strange.
Never seen anything like that before in my life.
It just takes you out of the
totally.
It's just like what?
He was just mauled by zombies. Now he's standing there in the middle of a field by himself. Camera spin, fade to red. And
no music,
cuts.
no like
music.
bum bum
Yeah,
bum,
nothing.
Yeah.
So and then it cuts to the Dark Lord of the Sith. He seems pleased because he's smiling from behind his tree. Casper finds Greg's gun. Blood runs down the screen for some reason. It's like another weird transition. Just blood starts running down the screen like it's like a Scooby-Doo cartoon all of a sudden. Like what is happening here? And then it just cuts back to the other group, the main group. Like, what is happening in this movie? This is the weirdest choices I've ever seen. The fucking transition they're so strange and dumb. It's just so yag, man.
It is pretty yag.
It's so yag. So the main group all decides to go back to the house or the church chapel thing we saw before. But before they head off, Kirk.
Of course. Why would you go anywhere else? Why would you go? Why would you maybe take a different route to get to the ship? Why wouldn't you just get on the ship that Kirk has? No, let's go back to the fucking church.
Let's head more inland. Let's head back into the mouth of the beast,
which is essentially like the center. I'm assuming is basically the center of the island.
Yeah,
the heart of the island.
Yeah, we have no reason to believe otherwise at this point. But before they head off, Kirk opens up one of his crates, and at this point, Casper comes back, tells him that Greg's dead, which everybody's like, okay, whatever, no one cares.
No one gives a shit.
No one gives a shit.
No one gives a shit. They're just like, how'd it happen? Zombies. Okay. No one cares.
No, but she does say that her boat has been destroyed and her partner is missing, even though we've never seen her boat. She was taking word for it.
We're just like, oh, okay, maybe that's why they didn't go because fine. She says
at least they explain, my boat's been destroyed. As Kirk's boat's sitting pretty right there, and they just ignore it. God damn it. So, now...
this is where they gear up.
Yeah, in the crate is just a plethora, a cornucopia, if you will, of various guns, ammo, and plastic grenades.
It is the fucking Resident Evil storage room box.
It's the item box.
It's the item box. It's just stocked.
Yeah.
It's like Resident Evil 3 on easy mode. When you get to it and you open it up, you're like, fuck yeah! It's just, everything's in here.
Cheat codes on. You beat the game on S mode and you get all the goodies in the second playthrough.
I always love Resident Evil. That's like the mode I love to play in the most. Is actually easy because you still get all the story, but you just got all the fucking guns, and it's like, you know what? I don't want a challenge. I just want to have a fun time.
Shit. Yeah. Fuck you, Nemesis! Grenade launcher! Boom!
I'm Jill Valentine, bitch!
I got my Barry's Magnum! Bam! One shot! They gear up. Casper then unzips her duffel bag and she starts pulling out more guns, including a giant Mossberg 500 shotgun.
Would you say tons of guns?
Tons of guns. All over, yeah.
Yeah, a little gangstar for
Gangstar.
you. Yeah.
I fucking love Gangstar. Tons of guns, real easy to get. Tons of guns bringing nothing but death.
Yep.
So everyone arms themselves like they're the fucking Punisher, and then they head back to the house chapel thing. Now, I do love how Kirk just shoves 3 sticks of dynamite in his jacket pocket like they were Tic Tacs. It's like, I'll just shove them in like an after. There's dynamite. Not grenade, just dynamite. Old school dynamite in his pocket. And not like the inside pocket it keeps him, like the little dinky like outside pocket. They just things are gonna fall out of so easily.
My fucking phone falls out of those pockets all the time. He's got
dynamite.
3 goddamn sticks of dynamite
sticking out. So
guy gives 0 fucks.
More arcade game footage. Bam, 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 and screaming zombies. And we cut back to the group arriving back at the house chapel thing.
And oh my god.
Which is now surrounded by zombies.
So
oh
my god.
Holy fucking shit, Moon Goons. Hold on to your goddamn butts.
I love this scene.
Because we are about to get hit by like a 10-minute long music video action scene that's filled with about a dozen slow motion Matrix wannabe spinning 360 shots with even more arcade game footage spliced in while this absolute garbage rap song plays.
Dude, fucking lost my shit. They're all walking up in slow motion, all in step, all in unison. And they focus on each one individually at some point.
Yeah.
Then they all start opening fire.
Okay, hold on. Here's the song that plays, and we'll talk over this. Here we go.
Make sure it's turned down because I can't hear shit.
I'm turning it down. Sorry.
And during this fucking scene, it's just nothing but like you see Greg like bow 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 bow, and then it goes over to Candy or whoever.
I mean, you can hear the shells falling in this. You can hear this scene is nonsense. It's ridiculous.
It goes on forever.
Like 10 minutes. It goes on so long that this song is. We haven't even here's the lyrics. Here's the lyric.
Some rap rock bullshit. Yeah.
Well, no, let's play for a moment. We gotta get the chorus.
Do we?
Yeah. It's coming.
Oh, this is my favorite part.
Here we go. In fury, bringer of vengeance. Will you bear witness or will you run and hide? I am Fury, bringer of vengeance in the house of the dead. I am Fury! Anyway, this song goes on for so long while all this shit is going on. There is... every character gets their own solo, single, Matrix 360 spin shot of them just standing still, shooting at nothing. There's nothing around.
So
they're just
it like shows each character, and they're like fighting, they're shooting, they'll be punching something, like throwing a shitty kick. Then it will cut to them in the 360 spin, and then go to the next character, fighting, punching, shooting, 360 spin. And how many fucking characters are there?
Like
7?
8? There's like at least,
7 or 8.
Yeah, there's these 7, and some of them get more than one.
Yes.
And it goes on so long that this rap song
ends,
repeats. Not just ends, it repeats. Like, here's the point where it's just a music draw, because they get to the part with the whole grenade in the well thing. It's just music.
I thought a different song started.
No, they loop back the same song. And so they ran out of music. They just looped it around again. And keep in mind, these camera spins are also. We keep on these people, with the exception of Kirk and Ellie. Yeah, here's where a song pulls out. You think it's over, and that's where I stop my sound clip. But in the movie, it just starts up again at this point and plays again.
And it just keeps going.
Keeps going. But keep in mind, these, other than Casper and Kirk, everybody else are supposed to be college kids and underwear models, but all of them, so they're like Navy SEALs, Commando, Expendables, and the Punisher all rolled into one. No one ever misses a shot. Every shot is a kill shot, even though about 90% of them, or 90% of the shots are just body shots.
We see Liberty throwing
Liberty's
kicks.
Liberty's a fucking kung fu master all of a sudden. I mean, she's Asian, so sure, why not? But still,
Jesus.
God damn! Are you kidding me? Like, I don't know, no college kids selling a fucking like Arnold Schwarzenegger Commando, Expendable, Frank Castle road into one.
And it just keeps going and going and going.
Actually, you expect to see the Energizer Bunny go through this scene, do a little twirl, boom, boom, boom.
And there's so many zombies.
So many.
There's so many zombies. There's so much that they've like surrounded them, and they don't ever turn around. They're just walking forward, and you can see in the background like they're extras.
There's zombies who don't know what they're doing.
And they're just like, what?
Wait, I can't attack them.
Do I just ooga booga booga booga?
They stand away from their arms like, ooh. The zombies are hilarious because there's one woman who they feature probably. She's just like creeping, like, she's just creeping, not really doing. No zombie walks like that. It's like she's trying to be a stealth zombie, like, I'm gonna get you, and then she just blasts it away. And then when you see somebody shoot her, you see like the zombies in the background. They're not sharp. They're just like, there's like a dozen zombies just standing behind Rudy or whatever his name is, just standing there because like the director's like, you can't get them. You gotta wait your turn. You can't go. So they're just standing like.
It's like those fucking old kung fu movies where the one guy's in the middle and there's like 100 dudes.
Yeah,
around
one at a
him.
time. They have to wait their turn.
Just one at a time. It's the same fucking
or
thing.
like the crowd in like the background of a Street Fighter stage. Like there are two people fighting, and there's always people in the crowd just standing there and not doing it. That's what these zombies are doing. It's insanity.
Goes on so long.
The best part. Oh my god, the best part is when the one zombie leaps off a springboard, does a full frontal flip,
yes,
and in midair, in mid-flip, throws an axe, a full-size axe at Alicia.
But fuck that!
Who for some reason,
for some
reason, instead of just moving out of the way, she jumps like 6 feet.
12 feet in the air.
Straight up into the air, right into the axe's path, by the way. Blast her shotgun, freeze frame of her like magically levitating in air, 360 spin of the bullet, the slug coming out of the shotgun, traveling down slow motion. The slug then like goes in like anime Tony Stark, Iron Man bullshit, rips apart into like a dozen smaller slugs, which then explode the entire chest cavity of this flipping zombie. And then she lands, and the axe goes whizzing by her. Holy fuck! What is that shot?
But this whole fucking scene is full of shit like that. That's the most extreme. That's the most extreme. But there's like head explosions. There's
a whack-a-mole zombie.
Yeah,
there's just it's a zombie goes boom, and it just gets blown up.
There's just so much of this shit happening during this fucking butt rock rap song, and I'm fucking loving it. I love every minute of it, dude. I'm like, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. But I'm like, yeah.
So, keep on. I'm not even done with this yet because
You're out of breath.
not only this shit going, they're fucking throwing grenades around like they were nothing to grenades.
Everywhere.
They're just grenades. You see this shit. I mean, you see this in a lot of movies, but this one's particularly bad for this. Of just underestimating the sheer destructive power of a fucking grenade, a kill radius. Because here, each grenade has like a shitty 5-foot explosion radius. To throw a grenade, boom, they walk away. It's like fine.
And of course, they walk away in style.
Yeah, and the grenade only seems to kill like one zombie, so it's like kind of a waste of a grenade. But throw a grenade, boom, one zombie goes. Like the grenades they're using are M67s and MK2s, and the M67 has a damage radius. Just the damage radius alone is 15 meters, which is 49 feet. And in this movie, it's like 5 feet. And the kill radius is 5 meters, which is 16 feet. That's just instant death if you're within 16 feet of the grenade. And these people are just basically dropping them, walking like 5 feet away. They explode, kill one zombie, and they're fine. It's the biggest bullshit I have ever seen. These grenades should be not killing like dozens of zombies at once, but they should be blowing themselves up too with these grenades. There's pop grenade, and this is a small area this all is going down in.
And this is something that bothered me about this.
It's such a tiny
And
little space.
I'll come back to it when we talk about the game more. But it is a tiny fucking like a tiny graveyard.
Yeah.
And there's it just seems like there's an endless supply of zombies. And yeah, they're just walking willy-nilly.
I get another thing I found funny too. So the scene, we gotta move on, but goddamn, the scene is it's just a treasure trove of nonsense. Like you mentioned, when the scene first, they come out of the woods, they look at it, and Cass is like, "Oh shit, run!" or something like that. And then it's instant to that scene of them walking shoulder and shoulder in line in slow motion, going boom boom. And Simon's there. He's in that line. But then there's a very distinctive shot of Simon by himself coming running out of the forest and down a hill, joining the fray. Like, what? Where did he go? Why is he coming from up there now? Like, they just completely forgot about him. Like, it's
ludicrous. It's ludicrous.
It's nuts. So anyway, Liberty Lee, because she's kung fu now, eventually gets swarmed and dragged to the ground while shouting out for Rudy's help. Now, instead of helping her, Rudy just stands there and has like a speed up crackhead flashback of this whole action sequence in reverse. So like everything we just seen for the last 10 minutes gets played back in Rudy's head, including like some shit from like them on the docks, which makes zero sense.
So is he having like a PTSD moment?
I don't know.
Where she like think about like Saving Private Ryan, that scene when Adam Goldberg's character is getting killed by the Nazi, but there's that guy who's right there who could he's too scared to go up the stairs and like save him, and he could save him, but he doesn't. And that's the same type of situation that's happening. But goddamn, you were just kicking so much ass.
Yeah,
you are the coolest motherfuckers on planet Earth. Just blowing away every fucking zombie, tossing away grenades that will blow your dick off, apparently, according to Marshall. But no, it's not affecting you. So you're just walking right through the fucking fire.
Yeah.
But once one of your compadres gets fucking overwhelmed, you crumble like a house of cards. Mm-hmm. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I didn't understand this at all. So. Plus, why the flashback? I don't know. And then I'm pretty sure he had flashbacks of scenes he wasn't even in.
And then is
he having a flashback?
It was going
of
fast.
He wasn't a part of.
And it was going fast, and then it just went like image flash, like rapid fire.
Yeah.
And then he just like goes, and then Liberty gets killed.
Yep. And then Liberty dies, and just like Greg, it cuts away. She's piling on zombie, she's dead, and then it just cuts to her standing there frozen in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the cemetery.
360 spin.
No zombies around her, nothing around her, just frozen. 360 spin around her, fade to red. She's dead now. What? So this is a thing now. This is happening?
So now expect anytime someone dies, we're going to get this 360 spin fade
You would
red.
think so, but then they forget about it. They do it twice, And then, like, there's so many characters left that they just forget. They don't do it anymore. They just forget about it.
I think they do someone else. But anyway.
All right. All right. Meanwhile, the others finally make it to the door of the house, which is now locked for some reason.
So you just fought through the fucking thickest swarm of zombies to Rap Rock.
Yeah.
And you can't get in? And then, like, a fucking dilapidated door is stopping
It's
you?
like rotten wood.
Of
It's so
all
old.
the fucking things to stop you, you just went through fucking hell. Like, essentially what people might anticipate hell would be like. And you just, like, shredded through them like fucking paper. And you got stopped by a locked, rotting wooden door.
Yeah.
God damn it.
So, where? Oh, Jesus. Where was I? Oh, door's locked. So Casper and Rudy decide that they're gonna go find another way in. And keep like, so there's all these zombies so out there, and they're just having like a casual conversation, like, "Hey, what do we do? Well, I don't know. It's locked. Well, we'll go find another way. All right, we'll just chill here." And there's still like supposed to be zombies charging
there's
around.
Still all these fucking. They just. Where are they fucking coming from? Because we just literally saw hundreds of them get mowed down.
Yeah, easily. So they go around to the back. Basically, I'm cutting it short. Rudy ends up saving her from a zombie that tackles her by shooting the zombie in the back of the head at point blank range. Only problem is that would fucking kill her too, because that bullet would go straight through him and into her head as well. But she's fine.
I do love the blood that splatters on her face when that happens, because you can tell the actress gets like. She gets it right. It's a fucking money shot.
Yeah.
Right in the fucking eye. And you
Right
can
in the
tell
eye.
she's just like, it's a paycheck. It's a paycheck. It's a paycheck. God damn it. You can tell
I got bills to pay.
she looks pissed. She does not look like she's having a good time.
No.
She does not look like she just got saved.
No.
She looks pissed off. God, like, it's so blatant. I'm just like, oh, that actress is pissed.
Yeah, Ellie Cornell was not happy in this movie. But it really doesn't matter, because as soon as Rudy breaks the window and climbs through, Casper gets attacked again by more zombies. Rudy starts pulling her through the window to help her in, but as he does, she gets pulled through. The zombies, who now, like I said, know how to use weapons in this movie, chop off both of her legs with axes as she gets pulled through the window.
Dude, these are the fucking woodsmen of the goddamn zombie clan, because they chop the shit out of her legs.
Instantly!
And her legs are just gone.
Gone.
just
adamantium
gone.
axes. Just slice her legs like butter. One slice.
For some reason, I'm thinking of like, hi ho, off to work, and ting, 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 ting. Just, I know it's not the same, but for some reason, I got fucking little dwarves stuck in my head where they're just chopping away.
So she pretty much dies instantly on the floor.
Yeah, because he pulls her in, and her
pulls-
fucking legs are gone.
Yeah, her legs
and
are gone.
He's just like, look at me, look at me. It's like, no, I'd be like, bitch, you do what you want to do. You're dead. you go out any way you want to.
So Rudy then opens the door for the others to let them inside. As Kirk gets in, he gets bit on the leg before they're able to shut the door and bar it. Kirk's all fucked up now. They lay him down on the table and apply a tourniquet. Simon goes off to have a shitty pity party about his pretty model face that's now slightly burned from the zombie acid spit. If anything, bitch, it gives it personality.
Yeah.
Makes you mystery. Gives you women love scars.
Dude, look at Seal.
Yeah, look at Seal. That guy's covered his face fucked up. Chicks love Seal.
He's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And he's got weird scars all over his face.
Yeah.
He
You're
just
fucking
looks
Nick
so
Fury now, man.
He just
He
looks
got
so
some scars.
slick.
Yeah.
You know, you see Seal with his shirt off. He just looks so like, oily, but not like greasy, but
Blubbery
just like
seal oil?
shiny, sheeny.
All right.
Seal. I guess I got a pet for sale.
Yeah, like
I didn't know
we're
this.
gonna learn something new about Aaron.
Hey, kissed by a rose on the thorn.
So yeah, Karma goes over to Simon, who's all like, "Oh, be in my face! Don't look at me! I'm hideous!" Blah blah blah, and she just starts to kiss him, and they make out.
Like aggressively making out.
Yeah.
For someone who's so fucking touchy, feely about this giant facial wound, it's not stopping him from
making out.
tonguing that bitch.
Nope.
Blah, 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 blah. You know.
And awkwardly, his mouth is open so like, he's like trying to swallow her head.
Oh yeah, and fuck.
So
13 years old.
Yep. We moving along. Alicia then finds an old book which she says, might be useful to him because it's old. I know, great writing. Am I right? Like, that's literally like, look at this book. It might help us because it's old.
Hey, guys, look at this old book I found. It might help us. It's old.
It's old.
That's like literally what she said.
I'm not kidding. That's what I'm saying. That's the writing, man. So she says it's the officer's log from the ship that the Hispanic Mr. Clean was on.
It looks like it was printed in like 1980. Like, it's old. It's from the 80s. No, it doesn't look like it's from the 1680s. It looks brand fucking new.
I had hesitations about this book too because they say that the Mr. Clean guy killed the entire crew. So
and
who wrote the book?
Wouldn't a ship's log be something like a scroll or or something more dilapidated? Perhaps
I don't know about the book. It would probably be more like a leather-bound binder or something or a scroll.
It looked like a fucking printing press book.
Yeah. But also, I'm just like, who wrote the book? He's supposed to have murdered the entire crew. Who wrote the book? Granted, like, it could have been written up until the point they murdered him, but he murdered all of them. But it doesn't really matter because she doesn't really, nothing comes. It's just like, hey, read this, and
nothing fucking happens.
Nothing happens from it. So after that, they sit around. They talk about how they're like all out of ammo. Like, I got another. I'm all out. I have no ammo left. We're screwed.
They have very little ammo left.
Very, very little. And Kirk tells them to stop babysitting him and start figuring out how they're going to get out of here and what they can use to help make that happen. So leave me alone. Go worry about yourselves. So everyone's like, all right, fine. We're out. And they leave Kirk alone. And they end up finding the equivalent of a mad scientist laboratory. Also, I forgot to mention that right before this, Alicia and Rudy start making out too. For some reason, because he's going on further, I couldn't save Casper, it's my fault, I couldn't say blah 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 blah, and then they just start making out. It's like, what?
Sure.
Like, okay, why not? Fucking, who cares at this point? So they end up, like I said, they find the equivalent of like the mad scientist laboratory. There's dead zombies on tables, body parts lying around, heads in jars. There's
Ooga booga booga.
A tank filled with red Kool-Aid. And
it's the jungle juice, baby.
It's the jungle juice. They also find this antique microscope that not only still works, but also still happens to have a slide in it, like to look through. And Rudy looks through the slide and says somehow he instantly recognizes it as a blood sample.
But not one I've ever seen.
But it's not human.
It's absolute genius.
It's not human. It's like it's been mutated. It's completely unnatural. It's fucking genius.
Oh, we did get a little nugget of information about Rudy when he was patching up Simon's face. Is that he's pre-med.
Pre-med.
Yeah. And pre-med basically means you're taking your fucking required courses before you enter med school.
Yeah, you know nothing.
You're just taking a math class and a biology class, you asshole.
And like History 101 and your elective accounting or basket weaving or whatever that
Damn
shit.
it.
Yeah.
I hate it so much. The movie's like, I'm pre-med.
Pre-med.
Yeah, you're just like an asshole like the rest of us. Fuck.
You go back to Kirk, who starts hearing someone whistling the tune of Love Me Tender from outside.
And for some reason, he identifies this as Shalish.
Shalish.
Clint Howard.
Yeah, Clint Howard. So, of course, he gets up, and this leg he suddenly can't walk on. He's able to walk on it now. And he finds zombie Clint Howard just standing there. So apparently zombies can whistle now too.
And whistle tunes.
They whistle. Apparently they can whistle while they work.
Apparently they fucking whistle Elvis songs.
Yeah. They can wield axes and whistle while they work.
Yeah.
And swim. They can swim underwater.
They can swim.
These zombies are...
And they have great hits from the late 50s.
Yeah. Yeah. So Kirk shoots Clint Howard, not wanting to be a zombie. He's like, I'm not leaving you do this.
I was so pissed.
But by doing so,
I was pissed. I was like, oh, zombie Clint Howard, he's going to do something.
Oh.
Nope, he's just going to stand there and get shot in the fucking face.
Yep.
And which is funny because we didn't talk about this, but during the whole fucking rap rock bullshit shootout during that time, Casper's fucking first mate, whoever, comes up next to her, and he just stands there like he fucking doesn't want to be there, like, please just fucking shoot.
Yeah,
and
all the other zombies are like charging him on. It's like, kill. He comes up and just stands like 3 minutes and looks like, what's up?
She just goes,
oh, MacGyvers.
MacGyvers.
Plural. It's MacGyver's.
I forgot his name was MacGyver's.
MacGyver's. Oh, MacGyver's.
And she just blows his head off.
Yeah.
He's just some fat fucking schlub with a 5 o'clock shadow. It looks like he just woke up, rolled out of bed. I'm a zombie now.
Yep. So anyway, Kirk shoots Clint Howard, using up his last bullet. Hearing the gunshot, Rudy rushes out to him like, "What are you doing? You're gonna die. Get back in here." But Kirk's like, "I'm already dead." And then he pulls out a stick of dynamite from his jacket. Rudy runs back inside as Kirk lights the dynamite with his cigar.
As he would.
As properly he should. Rudy slams the door closed, yells at everyone to get down right as the dynamite explodes, which also blows open all the windows and the front door off its hinges, allowing the zombies to flood inside the house. The remaining group runs back into the storage room where they find barrels of gunpowder because
it's so funny. When
why the fuck not?
When they run in the storage part, there's barrels everywhere. I'm like, dude, break that shit open. There's got to be gold or ammo or
I didn't think of it.
or health potions in there.
Power-ups.
Yeah.
You gotta power up your handgun into an assault rifle.
You gotta break that shit
Or a
open,
shotgun.
man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Everybody knows that. Find turkey in there.
Yeah. Wall meat.
Wall meat. It's the best meat.
But no, bunch of fucking dummies.
Yep. And they find gunpowder, and Kirk's like, or Rudy's like, "Oh, that's useless to us. Can't do anything with that."
That's useless. It's like, are you sure
Look
you're...
at Resident when you get the key, he's like, "This key is now useless. Drop the key, yes or no."
I love how you have a choice.
Yes. No, I want to hang on to the useless item.
And if you do hang on to it, and I remember, like, I hung on to all that shit, and I beat the game, and nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
It's like I just kept all the shit.
Yeah.
I kept all the shit, and then it's like, fuck you.
I remember the first time playing through it, too. I was like, "This is a trick.
Yeah.
This has gotta be a trick. It's not useless."
Because
There's
if
no
I
way.
save all the stuff, I'll get like some sort of bonus or some sort of like key or outfit or super weapon. Nope. Nothing.
So, where was it? Yeah, so they go back into the lab where now they see some sort of Jason Goes to Hell demon eel squid thing swimming around in the Kool-Aid.
So, if you remember in House of the Dead, there are those like weird little mouthy
Yeah,
things
the green
that
like
jump
leech.
in.
They look like leeches.
Yes, and that's what I thought. I was like, oh, look, it's one of those little leech
Maybe
thingies.
that's what it made. I didn't make that.
That's what I thought. That's the connection I made.
It might be. I didn't make the connection because I played the game for the first time in like 20 years after watching this movie again, so wasn't fresh. But maybe. But at the same time, first time I was like, the thing has a face on it. It's like the Jason Goes to Hell thing.
Yeah. It's a face with a fucking
Eel
fish
squid
body
or something. Yeah. It swim around in the red Kool-Aid. Karma just like, fuck that thing, and shoots the tank,
She just runs
shattering
in.
the glass.
I love it because everyone kind of goes, and she runs in from off screen
Out
and
of
just
the
like,
room.
oh, you guys got scared? BAM!
Keep in mind, they've also said how little ammo they have left. Let me waste it on shooting this thing that's completely harmless and
Contained in a box.
Yeah.
So if it would have attacked, it would have attacked already.
Yeah. The Kool-Aid comes rushing out, spilling all over the floor, and it
reanimates.
It's the juice. It's the reagent.
It's the serum.
Serum reagent.
Yes.
Yeah, it reanimates the zombies in there, brings them back to life.
The reagent hits them, and immediately Rudy's like, "It's the blood.
It's the blood. It brings them back to life
Brings
because I
them
know
back to
everything. Because I'm pre-med.
And they all like it just touches every dead body in there, and
perfectly.
immediately they're just like, "What's
Boop,
up? Let's do this.
Party time.
I'm gonna kill these motherfuckers."
Yep. So they flee the lab. They run, and they barricade the door behind them. But the zombies start breaking through it. They're trapped in the storage room with zombies trying to break in from both the laboratory and the front room where they first came from. But lucky for them, they find a not so secret hatch on the floor. Because seriously, this trap door is like fucking huge. It's like half the floor. Like, oh look, there's a hatch here. It's massive. Rudy opens it up, but the zombies break through the lab door, grab Simon. Simon just tells the others, run, as he takes aim at the barrel of gunpowder.
And he has all day to join them.
Thank you. I fucked this. This is fucktarded because Rudy and the two girls, there's three of them, could easily have pulled Simon out of this one zombie's barely
He's got his jacket. He's like kind of got his jacket.
It's the loosest grip. Like Simon honestly could have pulled away himself, but they could have easily just like, all right, grab Simon and pull him away.
Like,
and
no,
then go.
And they're like, no, we won't leave you. Go. No, we won't leave you.
Go.
You should probably go. But you can come with us. Nope. I'm done for.
You see my face scar. My career's over. I got nothing left to live for. I'm hideous.
Are we still having this conversation? Because you can easily come with us.
Yeah. So, Simon pulls the trigger, shoots the gunpowder barrel, which apparently has the same destructive force as a small nuclear bomb, because the entire fucking house explodes, and you better bet that these movie makers milked every possible camera angle they could out of this explosion.
Oh my god, it blew up the whole
fucking
house. Building.
Whole building.
Whole building was just blown to bits.
Gone. Yeah.
They'd had an above shot, a side shot, a front shot, a back shot.
Another side shot. A low angle.
Yeah.
A high angle. The only thing they didn't have was the 360 spinning thing, which I'm stunned they did do that for this shot.
I actually would have liked that.
That would have been the one time. Yeah, that would have been good.
They should have had a death scene for the house.
Yeah. Just a house in the middle of a field, frozen, spinning around and fade to red. So now Rudy and the girls are down in an old, what they say is a catacomb, but it really looks more like a crappy mine shaft because there's a mine cart track running right through the middle of it. They make their way down this mine shaft tunnel. Zombies start leaping out from every nook and cranny.
They're like it plastered into the walls.
Well,
and when they would come close,
the first ones come out from like all like little side tunnels, all the offshoots. And
Like, I guess they're coming up later, but you know what I'm talking about. But it's like they're taking turns.
They're
walking down the hall. It's like the chick's like bang, 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 and then she's like reloading, and then the guy gets in front and he's walking. They're showing him bang, 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 and he walks. It's like they're taking turns throughout the fucking scene of just being fucking Johnny on the spot with her guns.
That's exactly what they're doing. And that's what I'm saying. That's my next noise, because they easily shoot and kill each of these zombies instantly, despite supposedly, like they said, having like zero ammo left, but they have full clips. They're like bang, 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 bang. And then Rudy does like, okay, I'm out. And the car's like, all right, it's my turn. Bitch, she steps up to the front, like bang, 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 bang.
Like,
and keep in mind, okay,
guns akimbo, one in each hand.
My next point, because this bitch Karma, who maybe weighs $115, $120, is double fisting desert fucking eagles, hand cannons. These Desert Eagles are 50 caliber, maybe a 44 Magnum, but either way, you ain't one hand in those fuckers. Definitely not two fists in these things for a girl who's never held a gun, who's about $120, maybe $125, and she's like she's lip wristing this shit. Those guns would be kicking like a fucking mule. She'd probably break her goddamn nose and wrist firing this gun like that. And goddamn. But she's like, boom, 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 boom. Just
nice.
I can't.
I just got an idea. I just got an idea.
You got an idea?
Yeah, I'm going to talk to you after this.
Oh boy.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, so anyway, shortly after that wave of zombies is dealt with, more zombies start popping up. And this is what Aaron's about to say. And I will say, I like these. These are actually kind of cool because they come out like from the wall. And this is shit like...
They're like plastered into the walls.
This is like Greg Nicotero Walking Dead like zombie shit. Like you would see like when they enter like an old abandoned like forest area or something, and the zombies have been just dormant for so long that the roots and the grass and moss just overgrown them. And then they finally come back and they emerge out and they look like walking plants. That's basically what this is. They're just covered in moss, kind of like the old Mossman He-Man toys. You remember those? But they come out from the walls. It's
got like
cool.
Limestone on them, like rocks and crap.
Yeah, these are probably the coolest. Like, it was a cool effect. I will give them that. Anyway, Karma says this is where she's like, "I got this." So she's like, "I got this," and she turns into a fucking ninja at this point, and she just starts shucking and jiving and bobbing and weaving through the zombies, and she's like, Rudy and Alicia like, "Just go, I got this," and like, "I got it," and she starts punching at zombies, but it doesn't last very long for her, because she is quickly overwhelmed and just mauled and killed, and again, this is where they gave up on this. Like, she just gets swarmed. and then they just cut to Rudy and Alicia again. There's no freeze frame, 360 spin, fade to red for her.
There isn't?
There isn't.
I thought there was.
There wasn't one for Simon either when he blows himself up.
I thought there was one for Kirk, Captain Kirk. There may not have been one.
I don't think there was either, because he lights the grenade, they cut, and then it just cuts to him in the house, Rudy in the house, closing the door, and then the explosion. Kirk didn't get one either.
Well,
So
I'm not
it's
going to
so-
go back and watch it.
No, it's just weird. Like, they did it to two characters back to back, and then they just gave up on it. It's a weird. Like, if you're gonna do this weird shit, either stick with it or don't do it. It's a weird thing. So anyway, Rudy and Alicia then they get saved by fucking Zorro or something. Because seriously, a man in a black cloak armed with a rapier just shows up, stabs some zombies with a sword, and leads them to safety.
Black cloak with hood up, wearing fucking Skechers.
I really wanted to open his coat. Goes, "What you got, stranger?" or whatever he says. That would have been great. But so once in the safety of an old crypt, because that's where you want to hang out in a zombie, is an old crypt. The man removes his cloak to reveal that it's Greg. Also, this crypt is littered with corpses and skeletons. So yeah. Greg doesn't say anything.
He's not saying anything.
He's not saying
Greg,
anything.
you're alive. Oh my god.
And Alicia and Rudy just start looking around. Rudy kind of turns a corner and finds a fresh body hanging upside down. When he looks at the body's face, he can tell that the body belongs to Greg, but Greg's face has been removed.
Bum bum bum.
And Rudy yells out, "Alicia, look out!" And it's too late. The two zombies come running out from nowhere and grab Rudy.
Oh, the fucking conquistadors!
Yes! The conquistador zombies come running out of the crypt from nowhere.
They're wearing fucking 1600
Conquistador
armor.
hat, yep.
Conquistador conquering
Breastplates
armor.
with the weird conquistador
Helmets.
helmet thing. Yep.
Oh!
Yep. Yep. I'm just ready for some fucking Knight Templars to show up now, and
Jesus Christ.
maybe we'll get some Viking zombies too.
Spanish Inquisition.
Yep. Just get it all in here. So the man rips Greg's face off, like fucking Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, like, woohoo! And reveals it's the Dark Lord of the Sith zombie guy we saw earlier. More zombies run and grab Alicia. The Sith Lord orders his zombies to pin Rudy down to the table. And what follows may be some of the best, and by best I mean worst, writing ever put on paper. Rudy somehow figures out that the blood Kool-Aid they found earlier ties all the creatures. That's right, he doesn't say ties them all together, just ties the creatures. And he literally says, "You created it so you could be immortal. Why?" To which the Sith Lord answers, "To live forever." Fucking shit, no way! You don't say! Are you kidding? That is the dialogue in this movie. You made a serum to live forever. Why?
To live forever.
Hey, Aaron, why are you drinking that beer?
To get drunk.
What? What? It's like, I gotta go take a piss. Why? Because I gotta pee. Like, what? Why? Why? Who writes this?
Marshall, I'm not drunk enough for this.
I know, I'm not either. But god damn it. So we get some more flashback scenes of Hispanic Mr. Clean's backstory, his execution, which didn't take, and him suddenly having zombie minions from nowhere, out of nowhere, which I guess he has somehow the telepathic link with. Like, they try to hang him. He doesn't die. He's like, "You can't kill me. I'll live forever." Rah, 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 rah. And then it just cuts with another conquistador zombie during the Spanish Inquisition or whatever at his execution. Why there's a conquistador skeleton up against the wall at his execution makes zero sense. But it just comes to life at will and just that's it. That's it makes no sense. Nothing's really explained. But that's the flashback we get.
He gets hung, right?
He gets hung.
And he's still alive.
Yep.
And did he get hung on the island? Because I thought he killed everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, did he get hung in Spain? And they go, "Whoa, we need to banish him."
Maybe.
We don't know.
But we don't know that. But no, he was supposed to get banished.
That doesn't make any fucking
Nothing
sense.
makes sense. Nothing makes sense at all.
It's just a chance to show him like get hung and like,
Yeah, if
oh,
this
he's
is
still
supposed to-
alive.
If this is supposed to be Spain, they don't do anything. They don't make it seem like that.
No. It seems like he's on the island. He gets hung
it's like after he's on the boat.
by the people he killed.
Yep.
But didn't he already kill them?
Yep. Again, it's just, the writing is kind of it is.
Is he just showing off?
Yeah.
And is he just like, okay, I've got my last few survivors now. You guys can hang me. Check it out. Ha!
You
Still
can't
alive,
kill me. I got
bitches.
you. I'm the Messiah.
Now you're dead.
Now you.
He's just showing off now.
It's kind of like that gag, like I'll let you kill me, but I'll let you kill. It's like that gag, like you're in the car and somebody's coming to be like, all right, come on, get in, and you drive
just-
away a little bit. Like, come on, you can kill me, you can kill me. Yeah, no, you can't. No, all right, seriously, you can kill me now, kill me now. No, you can't. All right, go, no, all right, I'm sorry. No,
This
I'm
time
done.
I'll
done.
die.
I'll die. I promise. No, I can't. I got you. Now you're dead. Like, that's I don't know. Let's move on. Sith Lord turns his attention to Alicia, telling her he's been waiting for her, licks her ear. She asks him what he wants, to which he says,
Pussy.
Yeah, I wish. That would have been... If he said that, I'm like, all right, the movie's worth it. All right, I'm good now. All right. No, he says your skin. And again, I'm not real sure why he was waiting just for her. Why he says, I've been waiting for you? Because he says he's going to take Rudy's skin anyway. Like, I'm going to take your body, and that'll serve me well. So why was he waiting just for her?
Does he want to transition to a woman?
Yeah, like this part. I want to become a zombie woman now.
Is he pulling a Jenner here? A Bruce Jenner?
Maybe, I don't know, but it's never explained why he's waiting for just Alicia.
It's not a bad body to transition to.
No.
Those titties be banging.
Yeah, it's never explained elaborately why he's waiting just for her. It's dumb. Rudy breaks free from his zombies, holding him down, fights them off, kills them.
Sure.
One of which he kills by throwing a goblet of acid in its face. Because, of course, there's goblets of acid just sitting around in old crypts. Why not? Alicia grabs a fucking long sword, like William Wallace or something, and while Ruby grabs a grenade, and the two of them run up the stairs. Rudy pulls the paranoid grenade, tosses the grenade down as they run. The two of them make it outside, and about 50 yards away from the crypt entrance before the grenade explodes. Again, going bullshit! Because the M67 grenade has a 4 to 5 second fuse time, and the amount of time that passes after Rudy pulls the pin, drops the grenade, was about 10 seconds or more. That's more than double the fuse time. Not only that, there's no way in 10 seconds Rudy and Alicia cover that much ground before the grenade goes off.
Man, you're really measuring this out.
I hated this movie.
I really wanted to hurt this movie, Aaron. I
wanted
really wanted to
I
hurt
wanted
it.
to get it where get it deep. No, I just like it's just crazy. So anyway, they unlike the other grenades that were getting tossed around in the battle sequence that had any explosion force behind it whatsoever, this fucking grenade might as well be the equivalent of a small nuclear warhead again, because this explosion is fucking huge in comparison to the other grenades.
It like knocks them way up in the
Like,
air.
it rivals that of the gunpowder exploding house. It basically does.
So it's now the foundation of the house is shot. You might have had good bones at one point. You might have been able to rebuild a little bit. Now you shot the foundation. It's a total loss.
Yeah.
Real estate, baby.
However, Alicia's amazing bouncing tits as she runs away in slow motion
Jesus
are fucking
Christ.
glorious.
That's the best part of the movie.
It is.
I remember watching this. It's like I knew she had like big knockers. I'm like, okay, right on. And then she like had her little jacket off. I'm like, okay, cool. But like when she's running, it's like, I'm like, oh
Talking
my
about video
god.
games, speaking of video games, she looks like she's from one of the Dead or Alive games.
This is when I turned into a 13-year-old boy.
Yeah.
I was just like, yay!
This is Dead or Alive bouncing titty territory right here. It was glorious. Anyway, so they think they're safe, but the Sith Lord comes out of the mine shaft, running out of the smoking ruins, armed with a rapier, and charges them. This leads to another fight scene. The Sith Lord knocks Rudy unconscious after some fighting.
Like with a jumping stiff clothesline that makes him spin 360 and land. It's not just a knockout. It's a very dramatic Like, they're both fly through the air like fucking Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon style. He clotheslines Rudy into a 360 spin, fall on his face, and he's out.
Yep. So this leaves Alicia and the Sith Lord, end up having a straight up old fashioned sword fight.
Remember, she studied fencing.
And we get the same spinning Matrix camera style, complete with the bullet time dodges of her dodging his sword
so many times.
Now, like I said, I know I would call bullshit on this, but due to the fact that this the hot college chick is selling a goddamn musketeer or Aragon, but like you said in the beginning, they distinctly say, "Oh, she's a fencer. She fences." So
she
actually give the movie some credit there.
She knows how to use a sword.
However, it loses the credit because she is not using any fencing techniques whatsoever. Granted, you can't really fence with a giant longsword.
I let it slide because the same thing you said.
Here.
It's like she knows how to. Okay, basically with her fencing training, she would know how to use a sword.
Yeah,
Granted,
it'd be more of a rapier. Like he has the lightweight finesse sword, not like a giant William Wallace claymore. It's not that big, but it's not that big, but it's a big sword.
It was like a cavalry sword. It was.
It's like Conan's sword, man. It's a big sword.
It was a one-handed sword, and she was using both hands for it. But
the sword fight goes on for a while. But the Sith is finally able to disarm Alicia and then stabs her straight between her beautiful-looking tits, right in the heart.
Straight through them titties. I mean, just picture perfect. Didn't even touch the titties on the way in.
Nope.
Just got in there.
Threaded that cleavage, like thread the needle of the cleavage, man. Right in there.
Right through the breastplate, through the back, like impaled. Yeah.
Rudy wakes up just in time to see her get stabbed and fall to the ground dead. So he gets up, grabs his axe, charges the Sith Lord, chops off the Sith's head in one clean spinning backhand slice. As the head,
of course, it's gotta be like a backhand spinning, a spinning back.
Yep.
What an asshole.
As the head falls to the ground, we get a series of fast flashes of the Sith Lord's life. All shit we've already seen, including flashback shots of the shit that just happened moments ago in the crypt. Like, we're flashbacking to like 2 minutes ago already. Are you kidding me? So as soon as the head hits the ground, the now headless body turns and attacks Rudy. It grabs him by the neck and starts to choke him while the Sith's head watches from the ground, smiling like, yes. And
it's so rare to see a zombie movie where the head's been removed from the body and the body still is animated.
Yeah.
I only think of Reanimator.
The Peter Jackson one, Dead Alive or whatever that was.
Yeah.
That one, those zombies were like indestructible. So Alicia, who has been stabbed in the fucking heart, gets up, walks over to the zombie head and just stomps it, just mud stomps that thing.
And dude, she cracks his fucking skull apart like it's a goddamn watermelon.
At a Gallagher concert. That's exactly what I wrote. Watermelon at a Gallagher show.
Yes.
And while saying the lines, "Game over, fucker," because it's based on a video game.
Waka waka.
I told you guys, great writing. And then she falls back to the ground, dead again. Rudy gets up, he kneels over her, sad music plays as he rubs her head and like rubs his hands through her hair. Cut to a helicopter with the initials AMS on the side of it, landing on the island. 2 men in black get out along with like a SWAT-like team. Rudy and Alicia, who is somehow still alive and awake and walking now after being stabbed in the fucking heart by a sword.
This is my favorite part because he's obviously holding up a chick who is stabbed through the chest out the back. You know, like it's a medical miracle she's still alive. Let alone like able to kind of stand.
But he can stabilize her because we don't know he's pre-med.
Oh, the urgency of the group is just like, what's wrong with her?
Yep.
What's going on, guys? No one's like, hey, this bitch is on death's door.
Yeah.
Let's help her out. They're just like, so what's going on, guys?
My favorite thing about this, though, it's weird. I found it funny. So the white man in black is talking to his comp. He's saying, G and I are proceeding inside, advise of any contact of reanimated Homo sapiens.
I know.
First of all, that's an odd thing to say. Second of all, is it kind of racist to call the black guy G? Like, Like, why you just call him Dog, T-Dog, and I Dog? Like, it's G and I.
G and I.
And I also think it's funny that they're only worried about reanimated Homo sapiens.
If there's
Like,
any,
if they found a reanimated bear or a squirrel, they'd just be like, let it go. Don't worry about them. Just the Homo sapiens.
reanimated Neanderthals,
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
Don't worry about that.
Reanimated Homo superiors,
Nope.
don't worry about it.
Nope.
Magneto's reanimated, don't worry about him.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Just the Homo sapiens. But anyway, they approach Rudy and Alicia. This was like, who are you? And Rudy's like, well, who are you? And the white man in black says that they're here to rescue them. Rudy just says, thanks, and walks past them with Alicia. Again, the white man in the black asks Rudy what his name is, and this time Rudy says, Rudolph Currian. He says it like that's supposed to mean something to the average viewer, which it doesn't. And we'll get to that later, but we fade to black. We hear Rudy's voice and voiceover saying, I feel guilty because of what happened. Fade in on the camera zooming over the ocean. More voiceover saying, it was a nightmare. So many dead. So many victims. And people that were my friends. And now we go home. Me and Alicia. Or whatever she is now. Whatever I've created. God, ain't love a bitch. Is this the end or only the beginning? And once again, the camera aims up a bit and we see a large city on the coast. Fade to black, roll the credits, and a goddamn fucking awful rap song again. Holy shit, that's House of the Dead. What ending? What? Huh? I don't get this, but Jesus Christ. All right, so before we move on to our normal favorite kills and odds, so here's some things to know about the video game to tie it into this movie.
Yeah, because I did want to talk about the
that.
game.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're kind of doing that now.
In the actual arcade game, Currian is the bad guy. Only his name is Roy Currian, not Rudy or Rudolph, and he's a renowned biochemist and geneticist, which that is not talked about or mentioned at all in this movie, other than pre-med. So also, the AMS that we saw in the helicopter is some agency in the game as well. I think it's like the House of Dead equivalent to like Resident Evil Stars or like whatever Chris and Jill joined after Stars fell apart.
I think I also remember like the Asians had just like one initial, like Agent G, Agent H, or something like that.
The men in black that we see getting out of the chopper are actually Agent Rogan and his partner G. The two of them are the two main playable characters in the arcade game, so they're the Chris and Jill of that series.
Gotcha.
But they're not. The one guy's name is Agent Rogan, the other is just G. However, in the game, they're both white dudes.
Yeah.
And then in the movie, they made G black, which makes it
fine.
even more racist.
Let's just make him Rogan. It doesn't matter. I don't care.
But anyway, so the injured woman that we see in the opening of the movie in the credits in the video game footage is Sophie Richards. That's Agent Rogan's fiance, who he goes to rescue from Currian's mansion. That's how they get it.
Who's that?
The girl in the video game footage in the opening credits. Her name is Sophie Richards, and that's Agent Rogan's fiance, who somehow got kidnapped by Currian. Yeah. And that's why she goes. Yeah. The agents go there to rescue her. All right. Now, I haven't found any reference to Alicia in any of the video games, so as far as I know, she's probably just a made-up character for this movie.
What about Conquistador assholes?
Conquistador assholes? No, nothing like that.
Okay.
And so if Currian then is supposed to be the big bad of the franchise, I think they did a really shitty job explaining, because there's no indication of how he becomes the bad guy.
Or because
like he's the good guy in this. He's the one who tries to save Alicia. The only hint is at the end, like I guess somehow he figured out
how to reanimate,
how to use it to reanimate, and did it on Alicia to save her.
And he piggybacked off the fucking Conquistador
he
guy.
Didn't do anything. And then so he saves his girlfriend. But then somehow they makes a leap from that to like evil genius mastermind with an army of zombies. Like there's no connection that leads him to be the big bad guy of this game franchise. Oh, by the way, this movie is a prequel to the game. Should have said that.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
So
when fucking movies and games and shit, I don't like prequels.
Yeah.
Just start where give me the goddamn
and also
story.
how does
like with Marvel, I hate when they do that.
How does he save Alicia? Because we don't see any written evidence or knowledge of how the Sith Lord, Mr. Clean guy, did anything. There's no records. All we saw is that one slide in a microscope.
It's
and
genius.
it doesn't explain a goddamn thing or connect any dots as to how any of this happened at all.
It doesn't.
There's nothing.
There's no explanation whatsoever. Apparently, if you put this magic blood on something, it reanimates a corpse. But they're fucking, and their instinct is just to kill. So if you reanimated Alicia to save her, wouldn't she have attacked G or Rogan or Rudolph or any of them?
Yeah.
Like, because all the other ones do that.
God
damn it. But the game,
know.
how much did you play the game? I mean, back in the day, I
remember playing at the arcade a few times. A few times.
I remember liking it. I remember it was pretty cool.
Yeah, because it was one of the first, really first cool zombie games that was really out there.
Yeah, it was. I remember, I loved Area 51.
Yeah, that was kind of like the other big one. Area 51.
Area 51 and House of Dead and Time Crisis.
Yeah.
And Time Crisis is cool because you could have that you could push down the button and push down the foot plate and the shield would come up. That was fucking tits. But House of the Dead was one of my favorites.
It was a good game, for its time. And after I knew we were doing this movie, our friend Eric, Cincinnati Jeff, he has it now. So I went over to his house and I played the game to do some research to try to be prepared for this. And it's a fun game. It's fine. I mean, it is for a game that came out 1996 or 97 or something like that for an arcade game. There's really the fact that they made a whole movie on this is kind of surprising because it's just a rail shooter. There's the game itself has no plot
because it doesn't
show up
need
this
one.
mansion and shoot things.
It doesn't need one, and that's something that was also kind of frustrating about this fucking movie. Was in the video game they're walking into a goddamn palace.
Yeah,
it's
a giant estate.
Courtyards and several buildings and all kinds of stuff. And here, it's a dirty island with a shitty shack of a chapel.
Yeah.
Their graveyard is just 12 headstones max. And they keep going back to this as the place where this mastermind is laying his plan.
Also, I do remember the location. I believe Curion's estate or mansion in the game is over in Italy. Or somewhere in the Mediterranean Sea area, Monaco.
Maybe Spain.
Yeah. It's over in Europe somewhere, not Seattle. Not on the coast of Seattle.
But yeah, it's so much more impressive. And I get it. It's a movie. You gotta take liberties here and there. But boy, did you guys downsize. You went from a fucking estate in Europe, where it has several, has catacombs and all kinds of different levels and things that go through.
As shitty as it was, at least the Resident Evil movie had the mansion at the beginning and then the labs underneath. I mean, that's a shitty movie, but at least that was a little more true to.
Don't get me fucking started on that shit.
I don't want to. I don't want to go. That movie breaks my heart. It makes me cry.
Fucking Michelle Rodriguez. God damn it.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Let's get back on track. Let's go to our favorite kill.
Don't act like you didn't love it. Favorite kill.
I have no idea. I honestly have no clue.
I have mine. I have one. I have mine in head.
Because I can't. Do we include zombies?
I doubt it. But
because the zombies died. Some of the zombies died in some spectacular fashion. If you know what, I will enjoy it if you went first.
All right, I'll go first. My favorite kill, they all sucked, but my favorite one, the only one that was had an actual death scene really, was the throwaway character of Matt, who gets a zombie hand punched through his chest. That's it.
That is pretty
Everything
good.
else just gets basically every other death scene is just somebody getting piled on the old. I hate to say it, but this will really date 80s game. If you grew up in the 80s, but the old smear the queer game. Just pile on top of somebody, and that's their death scene.
Smear the queer. Oh, we used to play that in the schoolyard.
Schoolyard recess.
Oh my God. You just kick a football high in the air, and whoever caught it, you just run. Because you're going to get tackled.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that game was so much fun.
So
homophobic.
Yep.
Now we're thinking about it.
Yeah, but I mean that's basically so. Yeah, Matt, because he's the only one who actually gets dead, and a zombie hand comes punching through his chest. So that's it.
That's a good one. I guess I'm gonna go with my favorite death being the camera guy, the guy with the hand cam, getting killed by Charlotte or
Cynthia,
the eye candy chick. when she broke his neck because guess what? We got rid of that fucking handycam guy right away.
Yeah.
And I was fucking thrilled. I was like, oh, I'm glad he's gone. And then I realized when the next death after that was a 360 spin with I'm like, he didn't get a 360
Nope.
spin. He wasn't worthy.
Greg and Liberty.
He was the first. They formed their official group, and he was the first one to die in the official group. They're like, nah, he's not that cool.
Nope.
We're not gonna give him a Red Death redemption spin move.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on now. Brings us the odds and ends.
Just when you thought it was over, here comes the odds and ends.
I'm getting tipsy.
All right. Ratings. IMDb gives it a 2 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, a 3% on the old thermometer.
Ouch.
With a 10% audience score. And Amazon, 4.2 out of 5. What? Fuck you, Amazon. God damn it. What's wrong with you people?
Bunch
on there?
of goddamn trolls.
Plot keywords. There were 206 plot keywords for this shit fest. Started off with Z movie, which I guess is supposed to be a
Zombie.
worse version of a B movie or a zombie. But either one, I guess. Excuse me. Trash movie is another plot keyword.
Ouch.
Then we have panties, white panties, thong panties, and girl in panties.
Yeah.
There we go. All of them were in there. And then we got psychotronic film.
This is not psychotronic.
I don't even know what it means, but it's in there.
This is Hollywood bullshit. Psychotronic should be something a little more indie, I guess.
Then we have Eurotrash is another plot keyword for this movie. And then lastly, it just says "See you in hell" was a plot keyword for this movie. All right, moving on to trivia. There's a few things I got here. Apparently, the reviews were so bad for this movie that the Danish cinemas refused to buy it. This is the last film to use the turntable technique for the 360 shots. The risk of actors being hurt or killed by the fast-moving camera was too high to keep using it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait. This camera technique could cause injury and or death?
Apparently, the camera moves so fast and takes so many pictures that when it does that, like if you move
And they did it for each actor and actress?
multiple times.
Oh!
Yep.
Oh my god.
Jonathan Cherry, who played Rudy Currian, burned 30% of his hand on the second day of shooting. The scene on the bridge where he hurts his hand on the nail was shot later to explain the bandages he had to wear to cover up his burns.
Fucking hilarious. Sorry, bro. I'm really sorry that you lost 30% of the skin on your right hand because of this fucking movie.
Yeah. For this movie. This is what you get hurt doing?
But hilarious.
Yeah. I already said this movie is a prequel to the video game. 32 video clips from the original game appear in several parts of this movie.
Yeah, no shit.
26 appeared during the 10-minute battle in front of the house. 26 shots of the arcade footage are used in that scene. The remaining 6 are used in transitions, various transitions prior to the battle scene. This was Yul Boll's first American movie. A director's cut of sorts, quote unquote, is included in the film's DVD release, but it does not actually restore any excised footage. Instead, a joke segment is introduced before the movie plays, where Yul Boll plays himself, is kidnapped and strapped to a chair, and his kidnappers force him to watch this film as a form of torture. Salish.
What does that say?
Yeah.
What does that say about you? Like, are you proud of this? Are you trying to just enjoy the bandwagon of it being real bad?
Yeah.
Like
I don't know.
that's a weird thing to do.
Salish is Clint Howard's character is also the name of a Native American tribe local to the Pacific Northwest.
And he's a Gorton fisherman as well.
Yes, the Gorton fisherman. And there are 4 main House of the Dead games in the series, with the first arcade game being released on September 13th, 1996 in Japan, and worldwide on March 4th, 1997. So that's really all the trivia I got for this. That brings us to this week's budget game. We get to play the budget game.
I'm not
They
excited.
spent how much? The budget game.
I'm not that excited about it. I think I'm going to be really disappointed.
All right.
I think I'm going to guess a guess, and it's just going to be like, astronomically high.
All right, well, Aaron, what's your guess for the budget of this movie?
I feel like all the fucking people, all the fucking camera techniques, all the fucking, like, granted, there was a lot of special effects. But it was so bad. 15 million.
15 million.
And I know I'm gonna suck it up on this one.
I am actually going to give you the win for
What?
this one.
Hot
That
dog!
was close. You were so close. The budget, $12 million.
$12
$12 million.
Wow.
So, we're going to go. You want double or nothing here? Because you want to guess what the opening weekend was for this movie.
I imagine it was pretty high, because, I mean, House of the Dead was, it's right around the same time, fuck, goddamn it. Okay, I would say it made its money back. Maybe not opening weekend, but overall. So, I'd say, $8 million opening weekend.
Man, that's a tough one. I don't. You know what? Fuck it.
Boom, 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 boom.
I'll give it to you. You're over, but I'm being really lenient with this. The opening weekend was $5,500,000.
Wow.
All right, so I'm giving you 2 for 2. We got 2 more numbers here if you want to guess.
Holy shit.
We got the gross how much it made in America and how much it made worldwide. So we'll do with America first, and then we'll do worldwide.
Okay, America, I would say it made its money back, and I'm gonna go with my original 15 million American, and I'm gonna go 50 million worldwide.
All right. I'm.
We'll just you know.
All right. I'm not.
These are we're in uncharted waters here,
Yeah,
Marshall.
we are in
so you
uncharted
don't
waters.
you don't have to give it to him or take it away. Just tell me what
All
it
right.
is.
Gross in America, 10,249,719.
Ah, that's close. That's pretty close.
Very close. But here's where you big failed it.
Okay.
Worldwide gross, you guessed 50 million. Worldwide, 13,818,181.
Ooh, that little dick just dropped when it went outside the United States.
Yep.
Oh, I thought China or Japan, because it's a video
Japan
game.
loves crazy shit.
Well, the video game thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought people would go. Apparently not.
No.
And those motherfuckers in Brazil and India are just bootlegging shit.
All right, so that brings us to this week's Mortal Kombat Combat.
At the end of this day, one shall stand, one shall fall.
Good versus bad. Right versus wrong. Light versus dark. In the end, when the dust settles, who will be left standing after Mortal Kombat Combat?
All right. I hope you guys like the Mortal Kombat Combat thing. If not, I can go back to 5-star reviews, but I think it's fun. If you don't like it, let me know. And maybe
You're very proud of this. The little sound clip there.
I like it. It's fun.
You're very.
But pretty much, I needed something more than 5 stars because we really don't do just 5 stars. I mean, we've been doing 5 and 1 star, so I think I need something more than that. But
I enjoy it.
Okay.
It's fun because it's like every time I hear it, I'm like, you bring in like, sorry, Optimus Prime, and then you bring in fucking Mortal Kombat, and then you bring in Bloodsport, and I'm like, this is my childhood. This is great.
So there are 505 total reviews on Amazon. 61% are 5 stars. What the fuck? And only 5% are 1-star reviews on Amazon. What are people smoking? So let's try to get through this as quickly as possible. MG writes, This is not the best acting or biggest budget, but what you get is classic gamer zombie movie. Lots of zombies and lots of boobs, which I enjoy both. It's better than half the shit out now, 5 stars.
But no zombie boobs.
No zombie boobs. Felicia Muskelly writes, like this horror story, 5 stars.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Mark J. House, certainly not for kids, but even a 16-year-old could probably handle it due to the obvious video game sequences. Not as good as a Rob Zombie film. That's what I ended for you. But certainly worth watching. One of the best gunfight slaughterfests I've ever seen. And I don't just mean zombies killing humans. Killer soundtrack. Some seriously sexy girls. Look for the Asian girl in the American flag outfit named Liberty. Wow. I really like the set and location in the woods on an island. This is not a movie you watch to be intellectual. You watch it for the obvious guilty pleasure. That is, the action reminds me a lot of The Walking Dead on AMC. Fuck you, Mark J. House. Everything about that is wrong. Anyway, Metal Guru writes, what's not to like? Not a damn thing. 5 stars. Aspiring Broken Lizard member writes, I love this movie. I know it ain't gonna win an award for anything except maybe the goriest movie to get an R rating in the past 10 years. Fuck you, it's barely gory at all. I thought that Freddy vs. Jason was a gore fest, was the goriest film in a long time, but this just put it to shame. It's a horror movie, people. Horror movies are about the body count. If you want something scary, go see a thriller like Gothica. If you're a wimp, go see The Ring. 5 stars.
Who is that guy?
An inspiring Broken Lizard member.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Last 5-star from Janie Sears. This movie isn't just stupid characters, bad acting, and huge naked breasts. It's a message. The movie is a genius attempt at America's foreign policy towards the Middle East, or the Middles East. You see, the yuppie rich jerks are America. The zombies are the oppressed Muslims. They are oppressed by the House, which is the Islamic leaders' rule over the zombies, i.e. oppressed Muslims. Well, our battle on freeing the dead is to kill the House. Then you have breasts all over the movie in random spots, convenient flashes, and always keeping you on your edge, ... That's it in a nutshell. Those clever, socially amazing thinkers who wrote this film deserve an award. 5 stars.
Best review ever. Best. That was fucking brilliant. God damn it. And I do find it funny that you did compare the cellar or the mine shaft zombies who came out with limestone moss all over them. You did compare them to Greg Nicotero-esque Walking Dead zombies, so bite your tongue, Marshall.
No, the action, though, does not remind me. He says the action. No. Anyway, 1-star reviews from John Kalecki. I'll try to skim through this one as best I can. First things first, this is not a zombie movie. If you want to watch a zombie movie, there are plenty of better movies out there. Evil Dead, Dead of the Day, heck, Shaun of the Dead. This is a giant craptacular commercial for a Sega game of the same name, House of the Dead. Since Hollywood refuses to kill all its current writers and hire new ones, we are treated to remakes of old classics, sequels that should never be made. I'm still waiting for Titanic 2. Don't disappoint me, Hollywood. And video games being made into movies. Sigh. The Canadian bunch that made this mess and dragged poor Jurgen Pronchow and even Clint Howard into this should be dragged in the street and flogged. First, as the movie goes from scene to scene, we are treated video game clips of actual Sega game as well as tons of Sega Place ads. If this mess costs $7 million to make, Sega put up 6 of it, I'm sure. If a character dies, the movie treated a pseudo Matrix 360 spin, cheesy red tint, white, blah, blah, blah. When Mortal Kombat came out as a movie, I actually saw it in the theater. It wasn't the best, but at least they didn't have a giant finish him graphics or cutscenes from the game interspread throughout the movie. I get it. It's a game. Now it's a movie. Now you're smushing both together. Let's continue down the list. Action, blah, blah, blah. You know what? He talks about Anna Grauer's tits. You know what? Fuck it. Let's sum up the good. Anna Grauer's cans. And it's less than 2 hours long. The bad, underdeveloped plot, poor dialogue, clunky execution, sound quality, Sega ads, Sega scene changes. What an acting. I'm voluntarily giving this 1 star, which is actually a compliment. I have been forced to give it far worse. Movies the same. Amazon won't let me give 0 or negative stars. But moving on. Brian writes, before he sent Christian Slater's Hollywood future spiraling into oblivion with Alone in the Dark, Yul Boll somehow managed to trick Jorgen Ponchow into committing the same career suicide with this pathetic and altogether shameful waste of a film. 1 star. Aaron R. Healy writes, I think they should implement a new rating system on Amazon for movies. In this system, it would implement 2 scores. 1 score, viewing while sober, and the other, viewing while drunk. Well, now the 1-star rating I gave this movie, as you see above, is obviously not the drunk rating. What you get here is one of the most nonsensical, shoddy, sloppy, ridiculous movies of all time. Yul Boll sucks at directing. I don't care how mad he gets or how many people he challenged to a boxing match. Notice that he weeds out the challenge, so he only faces unexperienced fighters. I can't stand these quick, cut, fast movies. Hey, we are in a music video-like sequence that Hollywood is putting in movies nowadays, and this movie is chock full of those. Not to mention horrid acting, horrible dialogue, and the storyline just plain sucks. Now, if you watch this movie drunk, I do not condone the abuse of alcohol in any way. Unfortunately, I think watching this movie sober might actually be more dangerous to your health than alcohol. Then I shall give this movie 5 stars. Seriously, gather a bunch of your friends, grab a 6-pack of beer or whatever you drink, and watch away. Seriously, I believe this movie would be the greatest episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000 ever. Absolutely wild and zany fun is to be had of this. P.S. This trick only works with this movie. All other Yul Boll movies have been made to suck in all ways, drunk or sober, alone in the dark, crying face. 1 star. And I'm going to cut this last one short.
Did he mention something about Yul Borg fighting people?
Oh, you didn't know about that? Yeah. People were complaining about his movies being bad, so bad for just worse, and he should never make a movie. He started put an open challenge out to critics. Like, you don't like my movies? You don't think you're better than me? Come fight me. He would challenge him to boxing matches because of people insulting his.
That's
directing
awesome.
Movie. Yeah, he legitimately made people challenge him to boxing matches.
But apparently he is picking weak.
He picked out, like, I guess,
whimpers.
Unexperienced, like, wieners. The anybody had, like, any boxing experience, like, no.
Or someone who knew how to, like, move.
Yeah, supposedly. From Alexia, or Axial, I think. There's a 10-minute music video shot in the middle of the movie with these inspired freeze frames and 360 degrees pans around the characters. It has to be one of the most jaw-dropping worst things I've ever seen in a movie. Seriously, when I saw that, my jaw dropped. No one warned me, so I was not prepared. House of Dead may as well be called The Incredible Jumping Zombies. If you like movies where zombies make soaring, incredible leaps like they have jetpacks attached to them, you're in so much luck. Some of this stuff is so outrageous, you figure it has to be intentional. For example, when one character is killed, the main character gets sad and has flashbacks of what he's gone through, except the flashbacks include scenes he wasn't even present at. What the hell is that? Terrible. And the dialogue, seriously, check this out. Hey, why did you want to become immortal? Why? To live forever. Huh, you don't say. Blah, blah, blah. He does some more eccentrics. Personally, I think the first half of the movie is boring. The second half, starting with the shootout, is more outrageously bad. But in any event, everyone should see this movie. If not for laughs, then at least to appreciate the work that goes into a good movie. 1 star. All right. That was a lot to get through. I'm sorry, guys, but geez, this movie just... It deserved it. Let's wrap this up. We are super long on this episode. But like I said, this movie was...
Far too long.
So let's wrap this up. What's your final take?
So bad it's good.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Seriously, man, you and me, we're fucking done professionally.
Sorry, pal.
No.
So bad it's good because I think people need to see this movie. People need to see the ridiculousness of this movie. I had fun watching it. I'm not gonna lie. Because I knew going into it that this is referred to as one of the top 10 ever worst movies ever made, and this is by like all critics. So I'm like, this is like the holy grail of shitty horror movies, or one of them. You know, this is
it probably goes up to like Troll 2.
This is a big one. So when I watch it, I'm like, yeah, oh yeah. The whole time, I'm kind of loving it. Because I went in with horribly low expectations, and I was treated to those horribly low expectations, but with rap rock and automatic gunfire from pistols and like explosions and just so much ridiculousness the whole time. Just like, yes. So bad it's good.
Fucking A, man. I'm stunned.
Just
stunned.
You gotta watch it. You've got to watch this movie.
You've almost sold me to change my mind. You almost did, but I'm still gonna say so bad it's scary. This movie is atrocious. Nothing makes sense. The writing is awful, and like you said, it probably was like it's like got like 13-year-old written all over it. A part of me, you did almost say, so part of me is that you almost want to watch just to see how crazy awful it really is. So it's like a spectacle, but I don't think it's so bad it's good. It's still so bad it's scary, but almost worth watching just to see how bad it really is.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying so bad it's good, yeah.
And that 10-minute music video action sequence is over the moon. Like, it's almost watching just for that, just to see how crazy and just over the top it is.
Yes. Like, but all the cliches you see in action movies are just put on a... Like,
Expendables,
just like a buffet of ridiculous action
Matrix,
bullshit.
all in there, yeah. Now, here's the thing. Like, if you could find it free, then I'll say, yeah, watch it. But, like, it's right now you have to pay for it. And I would not recommend paying money for this movie. I would not.
This is what I will say about it. It would suck to watch it by yourself. Because that's what I did.
That's what I did, too. Yeah.
You know, but I was thinking to myself, oh man, I just want to yell and scream at the screen right now. And if I had 3 or 4 of my good buddies over, you know, we're all having some beers, we know we're watching a shitty movie, we can all just like rag on it, laugh on it, have a good time. Like, it's a good time movie for buds who like that doing that kind of stuff.
Well,
you know,
again, in that perspective, yeah, I could see that. But that's not always the case. So in that situation, yeah. So I guess it's kind of split. It's a two-sided coin. It just depends on the right situation. You're gonna watch it if you choose to watch it, and how much you choose to spend to watch it. Because that's but I guess we're gonna split. I guess it can go either way this week with us.
So bad it's good.
I'm saying so bad it's scary, but it could warrant at least one watching just to see its ridiculousness. So there we go. All right, we're gonna wrap up because we are really long, guys. If you stuck with us this long, thank you so much. We're sorry it went so long. But we had a lot of fun with this one. It had to be talked about. So we'll be back for our St. Patty's Day episode coming up. So thank you so much for listening. If you like us, support the show on our Patreon. We really appreciate. And like I said, stay tuned for our Horrible Horror March Movie Madness Tournament of Awfulness coming up. And thank you for listening, guys. In the meantime, remember to watch more horror movies and always keep it tight.